New York, big city of dreams. New York, big city of dreams.
What's going on? This is Jay Ellis from Knick Of Time Show. Here to give you that Knicks talk just in the nick of time. And it's time to talk about a Knicks loss, brutal Knicks loss. The Knicks lose to the Pacers 130 to 109. And we're going to talk about it all. And before I even talk about it all, let me just welcome in Ryan G, because Ryan G just entered the building. And here's the thing. Before I even get into the critiques of how I feel this game went, I just want to start off this show by saying this team is still my favorite team that I've seen in my lifetime because of the adversity that we fought through. We've ended this season with all 5 starters out during a playoff game. This team has been riddled by injuries. You had OG Anunoby fight back, gave it all he had, played 4 minutes in the first quarter, tried his best to come back, gave you a couple of points, some threes, had to sit out. Josh Hart playing through abdominal problems, clearly was not himself, usually giving you 14 rebounds a game, 10 rebounds a game. Could not get close to that these last 2 games. So he was obviously hindered by these injuries. We didn't have Bojan Bogdanovic. We didn't have Julius Randle. We didn't have Mitchell Robinson. Knicks overcame a lot, and we are right there. And we fought to the end. We took it to game 7 in the second round. Second consecutive year the Knicks have made it to the second round. So regardless of the result today, I still feel like if we had our players, even if we just had OG Anunoby, I still feel like we get to the next round. But that's not what happened. The Knicks fell. And you got to give the Pacers credit. They stepped up. Halliburton scored a lot of points. He's not the guy who's usually going to be scoring the points. He became a shooter. He did what he had to do. The Pacers played their defense, so you got to tip your hat off to the Pacers. They won the game and they're going to the Celtics, but I'm still extremely proud of these Knicks. Even Dante DiVincenzo, who had 39 points tonight, and he finished this season being 4th in the league in 3-point shooting, behind Curry, behind some of the great 3-point shooters of this league. So I commend the Knicks for fighting this far, despite heartbreaking, disappointing loss, man. Still proud of this team. So gunshots for this team. Gunshots for a crazy season. Extremely crazy season. And we're gonna get into shout out to the KOT members who are just kind of making their way in right now. But yeah, that's it. I don't know, Ryan G heard me. I don't know if you want to kind of piggyback off of what I said. If you heard me, Ryan G, did you get a chance? I just started it once you came in, like literally just started.
Yeah, honestly, I'm probably just gonna, I guess, give a little soliloquy about the season, because I'm still home. A lot going on today. Like, I barely got to check out the game. Like, literally, like parts of the game I got to watch, and so I'm pretty much just gonna give my thoughts about the season as a whole, and I guess just leave it to y'all because there's still a lot for me to do.
Got
Because
you.
I head back to Indy tomorrow, so I'm wrapping up a lot of stuff right now.
Understood.
Yeah. So this season, it has been one of my favorite seasons to watch as a Knicks fan, easily. It's unfortunate the way this season ended because I still believe if the Knicks were at full strength, they would be the NBA Finals this season. I feel
I
like
agree.
there's no team in the East that could compete with the Knicks when the Knicks have full strength and have all their players available. Now, I know that this off season, people are going to be running with their narratives, saying Thibs overplays players, or or are you gonna have some, other teams' fans getting on the Knicks and things of that nature? And and I just want to, I'm not even going to get into the whole, overplaying thing and things of that nature, but I just want to say, like, people have to realize that injuries are a part of the game. Basketball is a physical sport, and people have to realize that, to win a championship in this league, it's not just talent that wins. A lot of luck is involved as
Yep.
well. You know what I mean? Like, you have to, your players have to be all healthy at the same time, and be near full strength to even try to compete for a championship. And it doesn't work like that all the time. Players get injuries. Only so much you can do to control injuries. Some players are just injury prone. Like, yeah, you can try to mitigate the injuries. You could try to, like, give players the best treatment you can, during off days, and try to, like, monitor minutes and things of that nature. But, injuries you cannot control. Like, you have players that go into a game and then within 3 minutes they get an injury, and then they have to be taken out of the game and things of that nature. You know what I mean? So, I just hope that, Knicks fans as a whole, appreciate this season and the fight that this Knicks team had towards the end, throughout the whole season. And, next season, I'm pretty sure these guys are going to even be even more hungry.
Yeah.
Jalen Brunson going to come back healthy. It's unfortunate that he had the fractured hand in this game and couldn't play out the whole game.
Crazy.
Yeah, Julius Randle, that's heal up, get that shoulder healed. He's gonna come back stronger. OG, he's gonna heal up his hamstring, come back stronger as well. Hopefully the Knicks do sign him long term, although I do think that the Knicks do have to find somebody who can play that OG type of role.
Yeah, back up.
When coming off the bench. Yes, because OG is injury prone. I don't think there's a lot the Knicks can really do about that. So I think getting somebody else in that can, kind of spell him for, those times when he's suffering through injuries, whatever the case may be. I think that'll be great for the Knicks going forward.
Mm-hmm.
Great to see the growth of McBride this year. That
Amazing.
was definitely a pleasant watch this season. And overall, you could tell the team has grown, and I'm looking forward to next season and seeing what this team can do.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's pretty much all I gotta say. I mean, it's a disappointing end to the season, but overall, I think there's a lot that this team can be proud of going into next season.
Yeah. What's going on, Ebony? Yeah, I know. I literally just started when you came on. I pretty much was just talking about broadly about this season. I haven't really gotten into the game yet.
How y'all doing? I just want to say, like, I wasn't after the game. It was just a disbelief that the season is over. Not even a disbelief, just like, dang, the season over.
Yeah.
It wasn't so much me being sad or mad. I was stuck, just disbelief, if I could sum it up into words. I'm super, super duper, 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 super proud of this team. I am proud of this team. We've been counted out from the get-go. They had us as a playing team at the beginning of the season.
That's a fact.
Every time we've showed that we're good, they would move
the goalposts.
And if you want to know how good we are, look at the injuries. And we just took a team to Game 7 in the second round with all the injuries we had. You get what I'm saying? So they even today they didn't quit. They kept trying to get back in it. They kept trying to find ways to make it a game. And we fell short. We did fall short. But injuries, maybe my Spider-Man sign, I read it wrong. I don't think it was wrong. I still believe in signs. Maybe it was just meant that it's coming soon. Maybe it's not this year, but definitely. You seen OG in his 5 minutes of work, the difference. If we had OG, what this series would be.
Yeah.
Just with OG. Now imagine that we have another person by the name of Julius Randle. That's what his time would have been he would be playing. Pascal Siakam. Does Pascal move Julius
Nope. Nope. It's a whole different ball game when you have Randle on Pascal Siakam and an OG on like I don't even know if you even put Randle on
Halliburton. If Randle can guard Siakam, then OG's either on Halliburton or Turner. Either or.
Gotcha. Yeah.
I think so. this season, I'm sorry, this season, Jay, it showed again what a team that plays together, that plays what that looks like. Today we lost to a team that played together.
Ebony, they saying your audio. You said only your audio is choppy.
Oh wow, I don't know.
You said everybody else is good. Only Ebony's audio is choppy. She
Maybe
sounds
my-
perfectly
okay.
good to us. That's the crazy part. Like
Yeah,
she
that's what I'm
sounds
saying,
perfect
yeah.
to us. So I'm not sure what's happening from Ebony's mic to the universe, but to her, to us, she's perfect. It says better is
This
fixed
seems to
now.
be
No, she good now.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what it's saying. Yeah.
If you want to repeat
Okay.
whatever you just said, Ebony was talking about how they can't beat us with Randall because Randall would be guarding Siakam. That's what she was saying.
Yes. Now, did we come out flat with flat energy? We did. We definitely did. But again, it's been a long season, and this team they didn't quit. Even today, again, they didn't quit. And I can't ask for more. When you think about where we're at, we just did all of this, missing so many people, and got so many people so much experience.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Deuce, this season means a lot. Josh Hart, Dante being playing that role, the significant role. Now he knows what to expect from other defenses. So the summertime was really my favorite part of the season. After the season was over, that was my favorite time because if you a dog, like I know we dogs, you in that gym, and this left a terrible taste again in your mouth.
Yeah.
So now you already seeing the improvement for Brunson from last year. What's that look like next year? What is Dante, who experienced different defenses and having good defenders on him? What does he look like?
Man, you know what though? Like I want to get into this game, but I also want to say something about Dante, man. I know there's a lot of talk. There's a lot of talk about looking for other players to bring into the Knicks. Man, I like Dante, man. I like Dante a lot. I feel like if given more responsibility, we might have something with Dante. And let me tell you why. Today, Dante had 39 points in a closeout game against the Pacers. When I look for that it factor from players, I look at how they respond under pressure. And when you get pushed, do you push back? I constantly seen all season Dante doesn't back down, whether it's going at Joel Embiid, whether it's going at Miles Turner, whether it's joining back at Halliburton while we're down and Halliburton's joining at you and responding with 39 points. Like that's, I don't know, man. I feel like maybe if we dust off Dante some more, there could be something there. I don't take 39 points when what was it? What 39 points? What 50? What was his stat line? His stat line was crazy.
Yeah, 11 of 21 from the field, 9 of 15 from 3, 8 of 10 from the free throw line.
Yeah, 9 threes is kind of nutty.
9
Yeah.
threes. 9 of 15 from 3. Shot 60% from 3, 50% from the field in a closeout game. When we needed something, he didn't back down. He didn't get nervous. He was running like that. That tells you something. There's a toughness there. There's a dog there. It might be a timing thing. I know right now, not a lot of people might see it right now because he wasn't signed for that. But hey, man, Brunson wasn't signed for that either. Brunson wasn't signed for that either. Brunson was signed to be a starting point guard, and maybe we get somebody else next to him later on, and then he ended up being MVP caliber. So I don't know. We might have to look into that a little bit more.
Yeah, I think you have to. And when you factor in chemistry, just the knowing of your star player,
Right.
you know, you have to. And then if you factor in that Randall comes back, now that's another person, just like Jalen Brunson, who's going to command attention. You as a shooter are going to eat. You're going to eat.
Mm-hmm.
It creates more spacing because now you have two people that they're definitely going to pay attention to. I know it's not the NBA, it was the WNBA, but yesterday the Liberty had a game, and it was a possession in the game where Sabrina Ionescu, now everybody knows who that is. Mostly, even casuals know who that is, and you know what she does. They left her wide open at the 3-point line. And you want to know why that was? Because she plays with a Jonquel Jones and a Brianna Stewart.
Right.
You understand? So it's more people basically the Jalen Brunson and the Julius Randle that they have to pay attention to, so much so that the other good players become afterthoughts and you get easier shots because of it. So when you factor all of that in, I'm excited. Like, I'm sad for this season because I really want that Eastern Conference final. I just to get in there. I wanted that.
Yeah, me
but
too.
This season is still a success because last year we got eliminated in what game?
Game six. We took it to 7. We took it to 7 with
seven.
with 5 starters out. Jalen Brunson getting a hand fracture in game 7 is really kind of just wraps up what this season was.
It's like the cherry on the Sunday of our season.
Yeah, like that was crazy. we literally finished the season with 4 players who started on the bench ending the game versus starters on the Indiana Pacers.
Yeah, and then Jay, when you just think about our position, we're not way over aprons. We have a ton of draft picks. And then people say, what about free agency? What the Knicks have done this year is people ask, what does it mean for you to just go to the playoffs if you're not going nowhere? Right? I've heard that in the narrative season, aka offseason. That's what I call offseason narrative season. I've heard that before, what you get is you get something called that you showing people that you're real. So now instead of us going after people, somebody might come after us.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Somebody might say, I like these fans is traveling. These fans is doing this.
Mm-hmm.
You hear that? You hear the garden? You see what their support they're getting? I want to be a part of that. I want to be somebody might finally say that. They have the pieces. I want to be a part of that.
For sure.
And not only that, though, Rokas. We forget that we got him in our back pocket. Another person that could potentially help off the bench.
Yeah, that's true. So salute to Lee, man. He's just now joining us. We didn't really get super in depth into the game. We pretty much been talking about how proud we are of this team because we've kind of overcome a lot of injuries and made it to game 7 of the second round of the finals. Kind of also talked a little bit about Dante DiVincenzo's performance. How we talked about this earlier. I kind of feel like there might be something more there. He scores 39 points in a closeout game while drawing at Tyrese Halliburton, not really backing down. I like that dog in him. And then Ebony was just talking about how the positioning of the Knicks and where we are right now with the draft picks and the winning, and we could be a destination for players in the future. So just to catch you up, how you feeling, Lee?
Man, it has been so much fun to be on this podcast and commiserate and celebrate with the 3 of you. I think we made a fearsome foursome. We did a great job this entire season breaking down the Knicks and providing the outlet for fans and haters alike to enjoy our commentary, debates, and criticisms of our team. And I think it reflects the effort that our beloved Knicks gave this season and postseason. There's lots to be proud of. I have a lot of thoughts. And excited to be to talk to y'all about this. I have some positives and I have some negatives. And I'll start with the positives.
Mm-hmm.
Tom Thibodeau is a hell of a coach. If there is someone out there that thinks that he should be fired, I would love him to hop on the Discord or text us or call in or send a carrier pigeon or a smoke signal and let us know exactly how he got out-coached by Rick Carlisle. I want to hear strategy. I want to hear X's and O's. I want to hear matchups. I would have heard what you would have done with this depleted roster that would have helped us win this game better than what Tom Thibodeau does. Now, I've been critical about Tibbs in the past, but I think he did a hell of a job this series and an unbelievable job in the first series when he had his soldiers, when he has the guys on the floor who are able to give him two-way play. We were a very competitive team. We had a ton of heart, and even when Brunson went down, I mean, prayers up for his hand.
Yeah,
when
man.
he went down, this team did not stop. Shout out Bert Sanity, who played his damn ass off this game and really showed his worth.
Yeah, man.
It wasn't a one-game fluke. He was solid from the moment that Tibbs dusted the cobwebs off of him and brought him in off the bench. He played his ass off and his heart out for this team. It just shows how much people want to run through a wall for Tom Thibodeau. As well, Josh Hart really is the heart and soul of this team. And Dante DiVincenzo, him, and Jalen Brunson, as I've said, are able to play at a higher level than they would have achieved elsewhere because of their chemistry and continuity with one another. And I said on SNY, and I've said on here, I believe DiVincenzo is a future all-star. I think he has it in him. He showed off a lot of mid-range shots today, and just not just mid-range shots, but mid-range decision-making. Being able to have dribble penetration, get into the mid-range, and make a quick decision once he's there. Either pass or pull up or drive to the hoop. And that's, I think, an advancement in his game from what we saw in the beginning of the season. And that comes with confidence and comes with skill improvement and putting in the hours and work. Overall, lots to love about this team. I don't think we should blow it up. I think this is a team that you run it back with. And if there's an opportunity to improve the roster, you go after it. I think there are certain players who should be available and certain ones who are untouchable. Obviously, the Nova 3. Isaiah Hartenstein must be re-signed. And Deuce McBride must be retained at all costs, in my opinion. The rest are debatable. I would like to bring everybody back. Oh, do not trade Mitchell Robinson. Keep Mitchell Robinson. I think having him and Hartenstein is what makes us so dangerous and unstoppable when both are healthy. That being said, he is injury prone. He is a Lego, but he is also part of the continuity of this team and our longest tenured Knick. And when he's healthy, he's a defensive player of the year. So I'll cut it short there and let everyone else have some time. I'm getting myself caught up. I got a lot of stuff to say, and I can't wait to get into the critiques I have as well.
I'm pushing back about that because besides the two seasons under Tom Thibodeau, he's played at least 60 games or more, or 50, like close to 60 games or more. So the Lego, I won't call him so much because it's not. He got 230 with about 230 point game season type vibes, but it's really not. When you look at his games played, you'll be surprised.
I mean, I understand that of all people, you're not that.
Of course.
And I say that while saying do not trade him.
No, I'm not definitely. We can't trade him. Him. iHeart has brought a different type of style than iHeart. Than Mitch. I've been on record saying that they're one, but to this playoff series, it was a lot of it was very up and down for iHeart in these series. And one thing that he was really good at was protecting the rim, and that was kind of something that he kind of came down to earth a little bit in the playoffs. So I don't know if that will be a tool used in negotiation, but I thought rim protection wise that it surprised me sometimes, and today especially he was very in between, very undecisive on where to be. It was almost like he didn't know whether to help or leave Miles Turner, so he just got caught in the middle a lot.
Yeah,
today.
I feel like that was our whole team, to be honest. I felt like our perimeter defense in general wasn't where it needed to be, and there was like a domino effect all series from rip. Like even this game, the transition defense to start is bad, and we played this team all series, and still we're getting beat on transition off made baskets. We can't be beat off transition off made baskets in Game 7. Like we already know the game plan, run on everything. So to be having cross matched off made baskets, to me, isn't really acceptable. And I felt like it started with that. But then again, I can't even be all the way mad because a part of the reason why there was cross smashes was because we started with OG Anunoby, who couldn't move. And then as soon as he went to the bench, we didn't really see that as much. So it's like it's a rough game.
It was a game, but one thing I always tell say is that we can control our effort, and that was what made me upset in the beginning. I felt like our effort had picked up throughout the game, but the start seemed a little flat.
Yeah.
Wait, real quick, I wanted to kick also with the Tibbs thing. Tibbs has done a great job this season. I've said his comfort blankets when it's been taken away has made him the most creative. But a lot of that creativity he didn't really use so much in a lot of the games today. Mean this series. That if I would say if I want to give a pushback with Tibbs, like that horn action that we ran a lot during this series. During the season, and even in that we ran it sporadically in the 76ers. I felt we could have ran it more. Actually, when we did run it, it was a success. Is that horn action when you put the non-shooters, you keep them involved so the others can't help out, and you make the others, make it harder on the defense. So if I could say that, I could say that in points, he didn't adjust that like I wanted him to in these games. And I know we had injuries, but I'm just talking about before the injury to heart. That's why we have to take care of our business because you never know what happens.
Really? Like Ryan C said before, and I've been saying to my friends outside of the group chat, this is why you don't mess around and keep teams around. Because game 3, we had a prime opportunity to really shut things down, hit our free throws, get rebounds, and end the game. We extended this series, and because we extended this series, injuries came with it. And when injuries come with it, it kind of you start to ask what if. We ended the series when we were supposed to. The OG injury in hindsight wouldn't hurt us as much as it did.
I have a question, guys. When is it, because I'm seeing in the chat, when does it become injury prone or freak accidents? How can you prevent falling on your shoulder after somebody undercuts you?
And that's,
you get what I'm saying?
That's the thing.
That's what I mean. I'm seeing a lot of injury prone, but when you look at the amount of the injuries and how the injuries happen, is it injury prone or did somebody help them get injured?
Yo, Ebony, this has been the most maddening part about this whole season. Julius Randle all of a sudden has gotten this tag of being injury prone, when right before he got injured, he was literally being praised every day on ESPN for being an Iron Man. Like, so I'm like, it changed that fast. He went from being an Iron Man, wow, he never misses a game, he's so durable, he's gonna play no matter what, so all of a sudden he's injury prone because someone got undercut on when he's going to the basket. Anybody can get injured that way. It's not some non-contact injury. It's not I'm running and then I blew a tire. Somebody undercut him.
Or
like, can we stop the bullshit?
Pull you out the air, then tackle the same ankle. Like, this is what I'm saying. Like, these injuries, granted it happened to Mitch and people deem him injury prone. The second injury was not in his control. The first injury wasn't in his control. The first injury, they actually played him again. He got hurt and they played him again. Yeah, you remember that when he first got hurt, he literally got and then next thing you know, we ain't see him and they said he needs surgery. We're like, what? How? He played twice. What you mean he needs surgery?
I'm itching to push back.
Go do your thing.
First, on the Horns action, I agree. I think what made that Horns action so potent was OG Anunoby. Having him, he was a legitimate threat not to leave him. If Brunson chose to go through that pick, he was an option there on the perimeter or in the mid-range to hit a shot. When you swap him out with Precious, you can leave, and they did. Yep. They left Precious on the island. And I think that made that horn action much less effective. And when OG went down, they tried to find different action to just give Brunson opportunities to be more off ball. So I think that's maybe one of the reasons why that adjustment happened. And you didn't see it as much. Once that injury happened, sure.
Can I push back on that? The horn action, even with Precious, if we were going to do the horn action, then he should have been part of the horn. You get what I'm saying? That's the difference that we were doing. When Mitch and Josh Hart was in the game, and remember we had that issue with the spacing when Mitch came back for a little while, and then Thibodeau will put Mitch surrounded by a shooter and a two-way who was also defensive and shooter. So in that case, Precious is the Mitch. You understand? It would be Mitch and it would be Josh Hart. We didn't do that. Get what I'm saying? We didn't put the two. We never did it. We really did not run that at all. Even in this whole playoffs.
But you know what?
Even in the Philly series, we didn't really run that, and that was big in our spacing and helping us score.
I saw it in the Philly series.
But
sometimes I said really, we didn't really do it. I called for it more. Go ahead.
When you have Precious and Josh Hart though, that's different because now like it's less options to be shooters, especially now because ever since like the Josh Hart abdominal injury thing, like now like the shooting is dipped again. Like Josh Hart like won 3 game 6. Today he just kind of just played. You know what I'm saying? like he was trying, but like our spacing today with no Josh Hart being hindered and Precious on the floor, just scared to shoot, scared to do anything offensively, is just completely different.
Yeah, now I'm just gonna point it to the Pacers. The Pacers don't have many big names either. They don't have many shot creators either. So what they did was they moved the ball, they set picks, they went back screen. They did what I asked for us to do. Even their non-shooters, Isaiah Jackson, they keep them moving, they keep them as a weapon. And we found that in that horn where I was like, okay, yeah, if they're gonna play off of us, then make them go up and be part of the double team. Make them go up and set the picks now because the defense has to think: are they gonna roll, or are they gonna roll, or are they gonna slip, or are they gonna do something? But they're not just backing off of them, looking at Jalen Brunson. I think that's the difference. That was the difference in a lot of the things. That action there was able to get the pressure off of Jalen for a little while, and then the same thing, it was able to keep the defense honest on the non-shooters.
I still think it's different.
I'm not talking about the ones on the wing.
I still think it's different because the Pacers just had like the only non-shooter on the Pacers floor offensively is Pascal Siakam, and even with Pascal, he's still a mid-range threat. So it's like it's a lot different from what we have, where you like, especially when you have a stretch 5, there's a lot more options for them.
We that's what I'm saying. The horn action is not dependent on that. When we was doing it wasn't dependent on your shooters. It was basically dependent on making the defense play your non-shooters. You understand it? Because they have to pay attention. They don't know what they're going to do. They don't know if the help doesn't come up, then you can give Jalen Brunson some space. He can shoot that 3-pointer. He can do what he does. He gets the space. Same thing for Dante when they did it. But when you don't do it and we just do one screen, you got somebody else off a non-shooter helping. We didn't help ourselves in that way what Tibbs was doing before. We did a lot of stuff that helped us cover our lack of player or depth because of the injuries. We didn't carry it into this playoffs a lot of times. That's what I'm saying.
I think there's just a different story when Bojan was healthy and OG was healthy. The lineups that Tibbs was able to play with that horn action, you were pairing a non-shooting center with a stretch 4. Which it's still, the defender did not have to drag, and now all of a sudden Brunson's run into a double or triple team. They had to stay honest on whoever was a part of that horn action because they had the ability, if it was iHeart, to playmate or Bojan and OG to pull up and hit a mid-range and put the ball on the floor. That's what I think made it less effective when it was used in the playoffs. When guys started going down, you started having that damn Precious and iHeart combination, which just didn't give you a whole lot of flexibility or playmaking on ball as a strainer. It just wasn't as effective. And I'll give iHeart credit. iHeart became a really great strainer. I think in this series with Indiana, I was really impressed with how active he was in setting strings and how solid his. I don't think there was a single moving string called on him, and that was something that hindered him during the season. So he improved as it went on, but that was a huge load he had to carry with Precious playing that many minutes, getting cooked that bad by Pascal Siakam. It just limited us. It made Brunson so on ball that I think it turned us into an ISO heavy team, and we started resembling that 2021 team and got eliminated in the playoffs because there was no flexibility. There's no other option. But I do want to touch on Mitch because you brought it up, and injuries in general, and then I'll pass the rock. There are some injuries. I think there's a nuanced taste. The Mitchell Robinson, Julius Randle, Bojan Bogdanovic, and who else got injured? Jalen Brunson had absolutely nothing to do with Tom Thibodeau. Those were freak accidents that happened in the play by usually other players like Embiid or Jaime Jaquez injuring our guys in non-basketball action. But I do think that Josh Hart and the OG Anunoby, there was a moment where OG was leading the postseason in minutes. I think that was a stress injury that was a part of wear and tear in high volume usage that made their bodies more susceptible to having an injury here or there. But I am not putting blame on Tibbs, because when you have to play your best players the most minutes, and it just so happens that OG Anunoby, like in my opinion, Mitchell Robinson, are injury prone. Even though the injury that took Mitchell Robinson out of the playoffs was not because he's a Lego, it was because Joel Embiid is a dirty player. So I think that the truth lies somewhere in the middle, but I do disagree. I think both OG and Mitch are injury prone, and the big decision is, what do we do this summer? What kind of money do we give out, and how many years do we sign OG Anunoby, knowing that this is the type of guy that he is, and his mental state matches how frail he is physically?
His mental state? I don't know.
Yeah.
Why you say his mental state is frail? I
His
don't agree with
desire
that
to
at
play
all.
injured.
But,
His desire to play injured, man.
Today wasn't his decision. You know that, Lee? Today to not come back, that wasn't his decision. That was Tibbs.
Yeah, like I don't understand how you can play injured and say his mental state is fragile. That's crazy.
Yeah, he wants to play. I actually seen when what you call him got was it Josh Hart, I believe, got fouled out, and they came to the bench, and Tibbs was looking down the bench. I see OG pointing to himself.
OG was on the bike when he got taken out. He was he was trying to come back. He wanted to come back in the game.
That's fair. And I'm not saying this based on one isolated incident. I'm speaking on the breadth of OG Anunoby's career. He has been somebody that does not play through pain and takes the maximum extension rest time possible to come back from an injury. That's just been who he is. And I'm not necessarily dogging him for that. Yeah. It should impact how many years and how much money we pay him. I haven't said once trade him or don't re-sign him. I'm just saying it needs to be taken into consideration for what kind of we give him as an extension.
I agree.
I'm just giving him respect and shout out to the NBA Central, who made a great point about OG playing in a contract year on a bad hamstring. The opposite of what Jeremy Lin did. Like OG could have easily said, "I'm going to protect my money. I have a bad hamstring. I'm not playing in the playoffs. I'm going to just get the bag." But he chose to go back in the game, hobbled, hit a couple of shots, got taken out by Tibbs. He was obviously hobbled and shout out to the Pacers because they did a great job. They just kept running OG through a million picks to test out that leg. So, you're going to play, you're going to see if you can really play defense like you used to. He could not, which is why Pascal was cooking us in the first 5 minutes of the game. But he gave it a go, put his contract on the line. He could have messed up his injury even more. So I'm not calling him soft because of what he did before he got to the Knicks. What he's done with the Knicks is he got elbow surgery and played on a bad leg during the playoffs.
Yeah, and I just want. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Ryan, because I'm about to go on a tangent. I'm about to live up to my name.
Oh. No, all I wanted to say is I do get where Lee is coming from with his take on OG, and but the way I view it is, yeah, he does take the maximum time needed to recover from an injury and come back and things of that nature, and his reluctance to play hurt is kind of shaky at times. But I do think that the Knicks do have to consider that with him having a hamstring injury, and I don't know, like anyone who's had a hamstring injury knows hamstrings are very tricky injury. Like that's not an injury where you know for certain that, because I've had a hamstring injury, so I know one day you could feel like, yeah, I can run again. My leg is feeling good. I feel like I can run and this and that. And when you start running, you pull up again. You're like, oh damn, like I'm not good again. Like it needs more rest for me to recover and things of that nature. And the fact that he took the risk, knowing that he may not be fully healed, and come out in Game 7 and actually give it a chance. I do think the Knicks have to put that into consideration, at least, and be like, all right, you know what? He was willing to sacrifice his body in Game 7 to try to help this team get over the top. So let's put that into consideration when, re-signing him to a contract and things of that nature. Like, the Knicks may have to, take into consideration that he takes maximum time to recover, but at the same time, Knicks also have to take into consideration that he also showed that if money's on the line, he is willing to give up his body and be like, you know what? I'm gonna play and see what I can give to the team, you know, to help them get over the top in this game. So
and we're damn near unbeatable when OG is playing. Like when we're
Also
playing, when he's playing, we've won more than 80-90% of the time. Like it's kind of ridiculous. Like it really to me is the difference. I truly believe if he was healthy throughout this series, it's different. You're not having Siakam score whatever he did in game 6. You have the spacing. It just changes a lot.
Yeah, I agree. You see with the little 5 minutes he played, the difference. That little 5 minutes of difference was crazy. Like, thank you, OG playing, you know. Thank you. He's here, he's back. And, you know, he had a 3-point with 2-3 back-to-back. I think it was back-to-back. One of them was when the shot clock was rolling down and it was hard. It kind of looked like the Kawhi 3-pointer that he hit against the Philadelphia to close it out. That same kind of, you know, falling away 3-pointer in almost the same spot. And, you know, he hit it down. 5 minutes, he was, you know, doing his thing, helping us to space in on offense.
There's a big difference between OG and Precious, man. I love Precious, and he's done well for us this season. But there is a huge gap.
I agree.
Between OG and Precious. And the pressure plus pipes, the pressure gets to Precious, man. The pressure, you can see it. Like he's scared. He's missing bunnies, floaters, layups. Like you can see it. He's scared to do anything offensively with any type of pressure.
It looks like he's thinking more so than playing. And if I can say, I'm super proud of the team. I'm super proud of Precious and what he gave us in spots. And I had called about his consistency though, you know, before. And what I didn't see happening was his effort levels weren't there for me a lot. I was expecting,
me too,
you know, all over the place. I was expecting Precious to play how Isaiah Jackson was playing.
Like he seemed really hesitant. There was a few times where I just knew he was going to help on TJ McConnell, and he just kind of got stuck in between no man's land. It kind of seemed like Hartenstein. He just seemed very unsure of where to be for most of the game.
On both sides.
Yeah. On both sides. Like even there was a time in the game where he was nobody around him. Ball got tossed him in the 3-point line. He could have drove to the lane or take the 3. He chose to look for Miles McBride, throw to McBride to set a pick, and Miles McBride throw up a heave with 2 seconds left. And throughout that whole game, he just seemed like even when he attacked the basket, it was like the floaters were a little short. They were a little rushed. Like he just wasn't. The moment was too big for him. Like he was looking real Jared Allen like.
Yeah, I just thought like his effort would be all over when he got into. I was like, all right, yes, because I know the more Precious plays, he finds the spots, you know. But a lot of that rim protection, and I mentioned it again from iHeart too. A lot of the rim protection just wasn't there this series. It just wasn't there, and I guess you got to credit that to Miles Turner having them think about if he gonna hit that 3 or not. Because there was a lot of in between unsureness in our defense.
And I still feel like that has a lot to do with OG Anunoby being out. Like I feel like that had a lot to do with that because with OG being out, you always have to look to kind of double Siakam, and then there's always some kind of chain reaction when he doubles Siakam, and then it's like, I really feel like that one injury did us in, man.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Remember when we asked who would you want first? I said either OG, I even picked him over Mitch first. I said I would take OG.
Yeah.
I would take OG if y'all remember. I said that because of that nature. And then the fact that iHeart had to guard Miles Turner. With OG, you could put him on Siakam and have him still give rim protection, still give that help defense in the back. And then that might have made iHeart more aggressive and comfortable on the perimeter, knowing that he had an OG instead of being so second guessy and in between and what he wanted to do.
Good point. That's a good point.
So rough series, rough game. Even Jalen Brunson, like he started off like hot, hit his first few shots. I'm not sure when he hurt his hand. When did he hurt his hand?
Third quarter.
we had a turnover. I can't remember. It was another Deuce. Deuce at this moment it looked like the pressure had got to him.
Yeah, because Deuce was actually playing a little more off than I'm used to seeing him play. He was missing a lot of open shots. That when the Knicks cut the game to 6, and Deuce had an open 3, and he drove into the lane and caused a turnover.
That's when Jalen Brunson hurt his hand. Because they took the ball and they gave it to Halliburton, and Jalen Brunson swiped and hit his hand on his knee.
Yeah.
That's the exact play that he hurt himself on. That
was the one play I feel like changed because we was on our comeback trail, Deuce, all season long, even the playoffs. When you got the open shot, you took it. You should have just took it. You should have just took it.
Yeah, that one looked like he was
in his
pressure
head.
got to him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it did. It certainly did. I'm probably pissed off a negative Knicks Twitter by defending Tom Thibodeau to start the show. Now I'm probably going to piss off positive Knicks Twitter. Jalen Brunson choked this game. This is pre-injury, right? I wish the man well. He is my favorite player in the NBA. I love Jalen Brunson. He is a superstar, 1A. Yes, you can win a championship with Jalen Brunson's your best player. These type of series, I think, are key mentally to remember. He's got 2 of them now. He's got Miami, which wasn't 100% his fault, but he could have played better. He admits that. This game 7, I put on him for coming and ball hogging and dribbling the air out of the ball and doing ISO play for the majority of the first half. I am not talking about the injury. The injury was not his fault, and I wish him well. But I thought he played very selfish basketball in the first half. His head was in the zone, but his play was not. When he's in those nights when he's cooking his defender and you can't stop him, bro, take 35 shots. I don't give a damn. But when you don't have it and your percentages are what they were, and you keep forcing the issue, and you're driving in the double teams and driving in the traps and allowing the pressure and the full court press to really take you out of your game, then you need to give it up until off ball and allow either Birds or McBride to bring it up or use iHeart more in high post action as a facilitator. He didn't do that. He forced the issue, and he took a lot of low percentage, very difficult shots. And those shots caused all those long rebounds that got Indiana in transition. To me, I put the loss on injuries first and Jalen Brunson's selfish play second in the first half. That's my opinion. Do not trade him.
I'm definitely going to push back. I'm definitely going to push back because, like I said before, this is a different team when you don't have the shooters to spread the floor. You don't have shot creators. We first started the game off. He was hitting his shots. You had freaking OG Anunoby to spread the floor. We hit shots. We couldn't defend because it was going at OG Anunoby defensively. Cool. Now we're down. We're down. It's clear OG Anunoby cannot play. We have Josh Hart who can't make a jump shot, who can't create. Then you put in Precious Achiuwa, who's a deer in headlights all game long. You have Miles McBride, who's been hesitant. Like, there's a lot of pressure on one person to make a play. Now, did he make the perfect play every single time? No. But he finished the half with 8 assists on 4 of 13 shooting for the half. Like, when you're the number 1 engine on the team and there's not a lot of shot creation around you, like that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to try to take these shots.
That's why the horn would have been working. This is what I'm trying to explain to y'all.
This is why you're supposed to like. And this is what and it's funny enough, we started to get some momentum when Brunson got off ball, right? And we brought Alec Burks in. Alec Burks started cooking. It allowed Brunson to kind of just chill out a little bit and kind of just pick his spots more. But you can only do stuff like that when you have another ball creator on the floor. Like, so that's why I don't really kill Brunson.
Nah.
Like,
you don't have to kill him. You don't have to kill him, but you got to get. I agree with both of you, and I definitely agree with Lee in some things. I did not like Brunson's shot selection a lot of times. It did look a little stagnant in the first half of this game. So I could definitely agree. I won't kill Brunson, but he did the last 2 games. His shot, the picking and choosing of whether I take this shot or not. It was a little bit,
but
iffy at times. I see. I won't, but he did what he had to do. again, that comes with helping of the coach, which was what I was saying before. That horn action gave him space. It gave him a little space to breathe, so he can shoot himself into rhythm and didn't seem rushed or
Right.
seem like he was taking 2 one-on-one shots. That helped him. So that's what I was saying when we were talking about that was huge. And when we started acclimating everybody into the team, like just not having to solely depend on Jalen Brunson. That helped him.
Right. I mean, but it's like when you like maybe you go through our heart more sometimes, even though they start to scout that play in game 6, they start to scout that backdoor play. But it's like when you don't have a lot of shot creation, like what do you do?
Movement,
like it's funny,
movement.
We're getting on Brunson for the opposite of what everybody was getting on freaking Halliburton for. Everybody was like, Halliburton's scared to shoot. You can't be in game 7 and not shoot the ball. We have a guy who's not scared to shoot the ball. You don't have another shot creator. Like
it's the shot selections, Jay.
Yes,
that's all.
with
It's
Ebony.
the shot selection.
it's not. It is the shot selection. He took 13 when you don't have shot creators, and people looking for you to create, and people are playing scared. I'm literally watching McBride. I'm watching McBride hesitate and not take shots. I'm watching Precious completely not take open shots. I'm watching Josh Hart brick everything. That's when your guy is supposed to try to take a shot.
Yeah, I completely agree. But in those times, it's the beginning of the game. You have to set the tone. Like I'm not just saying the whole in those instances which you're talking about. Yeah, I get it. But when you're starting the game, you have to set a tone. You have to get these people off you. You have to try to get your other people involved. It's the reason. Just look at Pacers. Just look at the Pacers. The Pacers don't have a good start, and they
have shooters. Those like I watched him give Josh Hart the ball in open 3, and he bricked it. Like he gave him multiple open shots.
They weren't hitting hard shots either. They were getting good looks, Jay. They were literally getting good looks. And why was that? Because the ball moves faster than the man.
I'm saying we were getting good looks too, is what I'm saying. Josh Hart missed wide open 3s. Precious Achiuwa was passing up open looks. Miles McBride was missing shots he usually makes. We weren't getting bad looks. We ended the half scoring 55 points. Like, we isn't getting bad looks. Dante DiVincenzo, like the parts we went off, to me, when Dante DiVincenzo started taking over, Brunson got a little bit off ball, and Alec Burks got to play, and Brunson went off ball, because they weren't really game planning for them being on ball, really. They were game planning for Brunson being off ball.
I'm about to look at the first quarter stats, because I'm telling you, you see, during the game, yeah, I can understand why you would take that shot. If they're off. But to start the tempo of the game, it wasn't. That's what I'm saying. To start it off, the shot selection definitely wasn't. It wasn't on point, and that's the last 2 games.
I'm not saying he played it perfectly. Like, I'm not saying he played it perfectly, but I think more often than not, I was okay with his decision making in the first half.
One of my favorite things about the show is that we didn't like agree with someone and then disagree on the net state. I love that. Like it's all about the take at hand. It's not about narratives or bullying up on people. I think it's one of the best parts about our show because we do it consistently. On Brunson, I think the bad shot selection started from the beginning of a game. And it wasn't like, oh man, I see Josh Hart bricking, I see Precious hadn't came in the game yet, and Brunson was already missing bunnies at the rim and missing those pull-up mid-range shots that he usually takes and barreling into double teams. Now I want to say this because I see you getting very forceful in your disagreement. Pitch pretend he's jumping out the window. He wants me thrown off the show. I'm gonna say trade him. Listen, he's still 1A, y'all. He's still top 3 players in the NBA. This is a game. One game
sorry. Thank you for reminding me. Thank you for reminding me because I got to get mad after you finish.
Yes. I'm just saying this game in the first half, I thought Brunson choked. I thought the shot selection was horrid. And I think the ball movement was lacking. Okay, you got Precious who can't spread the floor. Find him as a cutter. And that's up to Precious to cut. It's also
Did you see Precious when he cut? He wasn't even he missed everything at the rim. He missed everything.
Yes, and there's also 3 other players on the court with those 2. Should have had Brunson there in the first half instead of waiting until the second half to break the glass and bring them out. Tried to do some wide open threes, get iHeart and the pick and roll action that was so efficient during the regular season in the first round.
That I agree with.
That action wasn't there, and instead Brunson went ISO mode, and my dad was like, "Oh, this reminded me of Carmelo Anthony," and it broke my heart because I couldn't disagree with him. I love both these guys. I just thought the first half of this game was mismanaged by Brunson, but you know what? He will bounce back next year and play even better in the postseason than he does this postseason, and that's one of my favorite things about him.
Yeah,
Facts on facts.
Feel free.
I just agree to disagree at this point. I feel like you're just going in circles. I just don't see it that way. Like I feel like I don't feel like he played it perfectly, but I feel like if your team isn't getting it going and you're down 9 or 10, like that's your job. I feel like that's your job. Your job is to get the best shot. And if you feel like your team is waning, you got to try to get your mismatch and make the shot. Like I feel like that's what the 1A guy does. And you have to pick your spots on when to do it and how to do it. But I just feel like that's what you're supposed to do. And people were killing Halliburton for not shooting enough.
Yeah, in the first quarter, Precious didn't even play. I just want to say this real quick. And Dante was 4 for 9 for the field, so he did have somebody else on from the get-go. Who was in?
OG Anunoby played 4 minutes, 51 seconds. Who came in for OG Anunoby?
Wait, said, hold on. Precious, did he take a shot? Oh, my buddy, hold on. I'm sorry, he did play. He played 2 minutes out of the first quarter.
Who came in for OG Anunoby after? Let me look it up.
It was McBride, I guess. McBride and I can't see this.
McBride. Okay, so McBride came in.
Mm-hmm.
McBride came in, who also wasn't looking like himself. 4 for 14 from the field.
Three threes. And McBride at that time was 1 for 2 in the first quarter.
McBride was not looking like himself the whole game. The only person I felt like was looking like himself was Dante.
And Burks.
And that's another thing. Like if your shooter is on like that with 9 threes, a lot of those threes he got was created by himself. They were just tough shots that he hit. You know, I would like to see Tibbs incorporate where he helps his shooters.
Yeah,
we've seen that with Grimes too. We seen that with a hot player not incorporating just extra screens or whatever it is to get this man a little free spot. We need desperation offense. Whatever you need to do to get this hot man open, that's what we need to incorporate in our.
I definitely agree with that. And it's funny. I felt like when Randall first went down, we were leaning into Dante being like the second option. And then he got injured and I kind of felt like we got away from it. But I feel like we should have leaned more into it at certain points. Especially when he's hot and the other teams are raining threes and you realize like, oh, he has it going. Like we gotta keep getting him the ball.
Mm-hmm. Especially like even with the Burks started making a run. They went away. It was a couple of possessions. Burks didn't even get the shot. He didn't touch the ball. Somebody else shot.
And hold on. Shout out to Super Chat. Shout out to Echelon who sent the $2 Super Chat. Said the Pacers needed 7 games, 7 to beat us. LOL. Yeah, it's funny when we're injured, but I wish we needed 7 games. But it is what it is.
Can I get mad? Can I get mad now?
Yeah.
Cook me.
No, it ain't nobody over here. I told y'all most of the time when I get mad, it's not in the Knicks.
Damn it.
Well, sometimes I said sometimes. I'm seeing a lot of people on Twitter just now. I'm not even on Twitter. I look to see if I can find any articles that just came out about post games and things of that nature. And my bad, yeah. My battery gonna die. And that they were saying how I see people. I guess Becky is right. How is Becky right when the person that she said couldn't lead a person to the championship, one didn't even finish the game because he was hurt, and the rest of his team was hurt. The fact that we in the second round with what we had throughout the league and what we missed should let you know just how good of a player he is. So you running the victory laps let me know that you don't watch this game. You were casual.
Becky will be right in other people's eyes until we win shit.
Candace, it's just crazy. It's absolutely crazy. You can't say she's right because did he retire today?
Yeah.
Nope.
Did Jalen Brunson announce his retirement?
Yeah, it's crazy. These people are nuts. They get on my nerves. I have a question for you
Yeah.
guys. Speaking of Alec Burks,
Yeah, that was on my questions.
Wait,
What's
hold up.
up?
Before the question though, I do want to say something though. Um, with people like nowadays, people love to jump on different narratives and things of that nature without looking at things without nuance. People just love seeing, the hot take and being like, okay, you know what? Just because this happened, that proves that this person is right and blah blah blah. And people forget to look at things in context and nuance, etc. Because when you look at the Knicks run into the playoffs, the reason why the Knicks even made it this far into the second round, game 7, one game away from the Eastern Conference Finals, is because of Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson carried an injured team on his back and got the team this far. Ultimately, it's not because of Jalen Brunson why the Knicks lost. It's because injuries. The team was too injured and they couldn't get over the hump because of that. So to say that to say that Brunson is not a 1A player is unfair to Brunson, just for the simple fact Brunson did not have his full complement of players with him to see how far the Knicks could go with him being that 1A player. So at the end of the day, you have to take this with a grain of salt and be like, you know what? Brunson did not have his full complement of players with him, but he carried his team as far as he could with the players that were available on the roster. Now let's see when Jalen Brunson has his full complement of players with them. Let's see how far this Knicks team go, and then he can make your judgment on whether he's truly a 1A player or not. But just because the Knicks didn't make it to the conference finals or the finals, whatever the case may be, this season, it doesn't prove, quote unquote, he's not a 1A player.
yeah,
I agree.
well said.
Definitely.
Well said. We're missing 5 starters. Can't even say 4 starters, 5 starters now. Jalen Brunson didn't even finish this series and lose, and they're blaming it on Brunson. It's kind of ridiculous. But that's part of the course. That's part of it's part of the culture that's been said at ESPN and TNT. It's kind of just to nitpick, overanalyze, over criticize minuscule things that really don't matter. So, I mean, that's why channels like this exist. So we can actually have broad, nuanced conversations about the strengths and flaws of our team without the hater bias that goes around TNT and LOL Knicks crowd. So,
Or the overly complimentary and positive bias as well, which is why I hope, I don't apologize for ever pissing anyone off because of an idea or a take, but I think it's fair to critique Jalen Brunson for why we were down so much in the first half and also not blame him for why we lost the series. He's not the reason we lost the series. He's the reason why we were down the first half. Yeah, he's one of the big ones besides injuries, but overall, he was the best player in the playoffs. How can you say he's not 1A? He outplayed everybody, including the MVPs. So big ups to Jalen Brunson. No, he'll bounce back next year and be the same Mo assassin.
yeah, he stopped scoring 40 points when he got a bad foot. So it's like he wouldn't win for another 40 if his foot didn't mess up. So injury stopped him. It just is what it is. I wanted to ask y'all a question about Alec Burks though, because talked about Alec Burks being here. There was a lot of pushback about bringing Alec Burks here. I was like, damn. I was proposing to bring him here. I thought I didn't think he's gonna be some superstar. I just thought, oh, you know what? He'll be decent. He can handle some playmaking for us in small spurts. It didn't work out for us until the playoffs. All of a sudden he's scoring at will. Do you bring back Alec Burks on the minimum?
Yes.
If he won the minimum, sure.
Yeah, if as long as you're not paying him no crazy money, I wouldn't mind him back. I mean, during the regular season when he first got traded, he didn't play well, but I think he showed us something different in the playoffs. So, based on his playoff performances, I would bring him back as long as it's not paying him no crazy money.
I definitely agree. Like, sure, I had said, I was calling him Detroit Burks and everything, but then I also, I also said I would take it if when I was calling him Detroit Burks, if he saved his best play for the playoffs. I'm on record saying that also. So I'm cool with him showing up when the lights is brightest. But one thing that stuck out to me and why I'm saying I definitely would bring him back. One was because he's ready. He stays ready. He's a vet. He knows what to expect in his team. So even if he doesn't play all game and you need him, you see he can give it to you. He if need be. And then secondly, what Dante had said that stuck out to me about how he had said that his confidence wavered, but having Alec Burke there with him and let him know to stay ready, to stay in your, keep shooting, keep doing you. You need players, you need teammates like that. You need vets like that. Those are the type of vets you want on your bench. So I gave him a ton of grief. I get a ton of, he was building houses and everything. I gave it to him.
Brownfields of Brooklyn.
Yeah, I gave it to him. I did, but I also gonna give you your flowers when you deserve them. So yeah, if that with the Dante, especially to me, was bigger than anything because again, those are the type of vets you need. And then you're a vet that can do that and then perform when you need him. Why not?
I agree, man. Alec Burks, man. Full circle for Alec Burks, man. Got here on the Knicks. Personally loved him. Also was frustrated that he was taking all of Quickly's minutes. Was happy he got chipped. Was happy he got brought back. Then was sad he got brought back. Then it was happy he got brought back when it's the playoffs.
Yeah, remember the pregame? Same show. In the pregame we had before the season started, they was killing me in the chat, saying they was disappointed in me and everything. I was like, damn, because I want Alec Burks to get some minutes.
That Alec Burks story arc is funny, man. Come on.
For real.
All around the block. This Knicks fans. Knicks fans, this lets you know if you play right, you'll come back around. Because this is not the first player this happened to, all right? Can I introduce you guys to Julius Randle, who literally gave us a thumbs down, probably cursed us out. He wanted to be traded. Fans tearing down his posters, and now he was getting standing ovations during the playoffs the other day. It was like, man, Knicks fans will forgive you. You can play good. You just stay that way. Give some effort and play good. You can turn stuff around. That's not a story. I don't know what it is.
I tell people all the time, the Knicks fans, we get a bad rep, but if you show us effort, we got your back. I said it's the reason, or you just show up when the lights are bright. I said you was the reason that we still. Steve Novak is a hometown hero type of vibe. So you understand, like we root for those type of players. Kurt Thomas, if you give us your all, we will give you ours, and that's just the Knicks fandom.
I agree. Facts. I see somebody say Bogey and Burks. I feel like Bogey is the most likely to be traded. To be honest with you. He pretty much traded for him to get traded.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he showed out in his role in the playoffs. So yeah, somebody definitely take a chance and on Bogey. Definitely. And again, we never know. It's always like they say, it's disgruntled stars every day, B. Mm-hmm. We don't know. We don't know who says, hey, I like what they're doing over there. I think I can help. Who's at the end of their career and tired of being the Batman, just want to be the Robin to help.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. True. Any disgruntled stars you guys are looking at?
I don't have nobody in mind, but just now it just flashed in my head. If say, Paul George is at the end of his career, he's coming towards the end of his career.
That's me. That's my pick.
He can be injury prone. Maybe he just don't want to do it all now, trying to reserve himself to be healthy enough to get to a chip. We play defense. We play his style of game. Maybe somebody of that sort, or it could be a lesser value, just another a solid role player.
I agree.
Another solid role player.
The top of my list is definitely Paul George if the price is right. The Knicks have gone after him in the past, or they shown interest in him. So I'd be shocked if he wasn't on the radar. But to me, it all depends on price. Like it really all depends on the price is to trade for him and the price that he wants. Like I'm not giving Paul George a max.
I told y'all who I think our big free agent sign is gonna be. It's gonna be Rokas, Joker, ABC 1 2 3 1 5 4 6 7.
You threw numbers in there.
I think for me, whether it's a star player, whether it's a role player, whatever the case may be, as long as somebody who can defend on the wing, I'm with it. Because the Knicks need one more of those guys on the team. So if the dude's a wing with legit size and can defend, I don't care whether it's a star, I don't care whether it's a role player. I'm taking it 100%.
That's what I'm saying.
Sadu, I'll take who Sadu just picked. Not for nothing. I definitely would. He said Bruce Brown coming. I would. Bruce Brown was a big difference for Denver.
Yeah.
He was a huge part in that run.
I'm still not excited about Bruce Brown. I know he's been a big part for Denver, and I'm not excited about Bruce Brown, man.
I'm out on anyone over the age of 32, which eliminates Klay Thompson, eliminates Paul George, both of which are 34. I had no interest in shortening the window around Brunson. I want to extend it. To me, I'm going to go back to what Ryan said during the trade deadline. I'm all in on DeJounte Murray. I think we can get him at an affordable price. I don't think we have to give him. I think Atlanta's saving their big return for Trae Young, and I think both of them will be traded this summer. And I think we should go all in on DeJounte Murray because it solves our number one issue, which is winning the minutes that Brunson sits. Brunson can now sit extended time with DeJounte running that second unit, and you get someone who's a 3-level scorer and can play engaged defense. I think Tibbs brings the best out on him, and we can really just trade Bojan, maybe McBride, and make it be a pick trade and bring DeJounte to complete this team. That's mine. Him and obviously Bridges in New Jersey are my two picks.
If Herb Jones is available, you already know that's my pick.
Herb Jones is my
that's my pick all day, every day.
Love that too.
I love Herb Jones. I just know that I know the Pelicans are looking to move BI. So if they're looking to move BI, I would think they're trying to keep Herb Jones if they're trying to move BI. You know what I'm saying? But I would love her. To me, that's a guy who can give you some OG light type of minutes. Where if OG is down, you can stick a Herb Jones on a Pascal.
Yep.
Or we could, definitely. I love Herb Jones, I do, but I know people are not big high on these on the draft picks, like the draft. And this is like the first time. I'm a super college casual. I tell y'all that all the time. But like this is the first time that I can't name you two players from the men's game at all. I can't tell you, oh yeah, that person and that person I saw but on these drafts like that, I noticed that they develop players. A lot of these players have been in on their teams for a couple of years. So they might not be superstar ready, but they damn sure could be role player ready.
Yeah.
So that you could look into that draft for that. I feel like there might be some 3-and-D long wings you could get in the draft that you could plug in and let them develop especially on this team. You could let them develop at their pace and just throw them in there during the season, let them get the experience as they go if you need be. But I could see that happen. I could see us using the draft to get us where we need to get and some of the picks to get not necessarily another star, but another player that stars in the role.
I feel like we're trading somebody. Like we have too many picks. I doubt we're going to use all of them to pick someone. We're either going to consolidate a couple of picks to get one higher pick or use a couple of picks to trade for a player. The Knicks have been kicking the can on picks for years. I'd be shocked if we just all of a sudden drafted 3 players this year.
Oh no, I don't see us drafting. I take what you said about taking those picks and getting a better pick, a better draft pick. Yeah, I can see that definitely happening.
Or even trading them for another team to another team for like
OKC or the Spurs.
Yeah, and plus our books are tricky too. Like I'm not a capologist. Shout out to Fritz. Maybe we have to do a show with Fritz talking about the different
Hell yeah.
The different cap ways we can go, whether we picking a pick or not picking a pick or something like that to break that down.
Ryan, I saw your eyes light up and I said DeJounte Murray. Are you still on that train, or am I on it by myself?
I wouldn't be opposed to it. I honestly think, like, although the Knicks did great, past the trade deadline, with Bogdanovic being a good addition to the team and Burks showing up in the playoffs, I do still believe that, DeJounte Murray, if he was on the Knicks team, like, the Knicks could have definitely won those non-Brunson minutes because you have that second guy who can actually create shots for other players and run offense and, and actually, get some shots himself. I still think, having that kind of play on the Knicks would definitely be an A+. Now I'm not 100% sure if I would still be on the DeJounte Murray train, just for the simple fact I feel like I really don't want to alter Deuce's trajectory when it comes to him growing as a player. So that's why I would prefer wing help. At the moment, I would prefer wing help. But I mean, like, if the Knicks were to go after DeJounte Murray, I wouldn't be like, damn, that's the wrong move to make. Like, I would still be for that move because I do think he still improves the team. And I know a lot of people have been complaining about his defense on Atlanta, but again, that Atlanta team does not play defense. Like, the whole team don't play defense, so it's hard for one guy to make such an impact on the defensive side of the ball when everybody on your team is missing rotations and not, guarding their man one-on-one or whatever the case may be. And I feel like within this system, under Thibs, I do think Thibs will get the best out of him defensively, and it's going to look more like the time he's been with the Spurs on defense as opposed to time with Atlanta. So I wouldn't be opposed to the DeJounte Murray trade if the Knicks were to go that route, but I do think that the bigger need is the wing help.
Yeah. I feel like he'd be cheaper. I agree with you though, Ryan. I feel like the bigger need is the wing help. There could be. It'll be interesting. Like like I definitely was looking for bench scoring help too, but I don't know. We'll see how this goes. Because like you said, McBride can take a step. I liked what I've seen from him. It's funny. McBride actually ran the second unit at times in the playoffs and looked okay at it. He hasn't done it full time, but that's how we started IQ. We started IQ just giving him part-time minutes, running the backup, and then kind of just gave him more workload. So maybe we do that with him. Maybe he shares it with Burks next season. But I'm not mad at DeJounte Murray being here next season if that's the route. But I do prioritize wing help for sure for the non-OG minutes for sure. So yeah.
Yeah. Can I say something real quick about that too?
Sure.
Now, I DeJounte, I didn't want him the first time. I had wanted him at first when I heard about it, and then I spoke to a lot of Hawks fans, and then I'm thinking about his fit with what we need. And one of the things that stuck out to me about the Hawks fans, it wasn't even that it was his defense. It was his defense on a certain type of player. They were saying if he wasn't a point guard, he was having issues defending bigger guards.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of what we need is somebody else to defend those bigger guards. So that was the reason that I was not sold on DeJounte, not more so his offensive game and what he can bring us, but because what we need on that other end, he doesn't give us. So we're still lacking in that particular department. That's it. That's all I have to say about DeJounte. And
it'd be cheaper too. I think it'd be cheaper in the summer than what they were trying to do during the trade deadline.
If we can steal him, if we can steal him, sure, why not? At the right price.
It's kind of crazy though. Oh, sorry, I just wanted to say this right quick. It's kind of crazy though because Atlanta fans say that, but I did watch a couple Hawks games this season, and I saw DeJounte Murray guarding these quote unquote bigger guards, and I saw him do a pretty decent job on them. It's not like he did a terrible job. Like I think one game I was watching when Luka was going off like freaking 70 points. And they put DeJounte Murray on him in the fourth quarter. DeJounte Murray basically wasn't guarding him all game. they put him on Luka in the fourth quarter, and he was the one guy I saw gave Luka issues scoring the ball in that game when he was just scoring at everybody else.
Yeah,
So I mean,
Luka ain't the fastest too, Ryan.
I know, but I'm just saying that Atlanta fans complain about that. But I've seen him guard like the few Atlanta games I've seen this season. I've seen him guard bigger guys, and he did actually a pretty good job on them. So I'm like, but I don't know. Atlanta Hawks fans watch him more than I did, like because I don't get to watch as much Atlanta games. But the few games I saw, he actually did pretty good jobs on bigger guards.
Okay.
DeJounte Murray and DeAndre Hunter. Let's do them both, man. That's the package. Go all in on a picks. Let's go win a couple championships with those two. DeAndre Hunter, that's 8 defensive guard. I'd give you 15 points a game. DeJounte Murray, you know what he gives you: two-way play, 3-level scoring. That's the move for me.
The only issue I have with Hunter too is he can be a little bit of injury prone himself.
Lego.
Yeah, I was trying to be nice. I wasn't gonna call him Lego.
A little bit injury prone. You wanted to say Lego.
I did. I appreciate you, Ryan. I was trying to be nice.
When you said a little bit injury prone, I was thinking the same thing. Wait, she didn't say Lego?
I was trying to be nice. I was. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Oh man. Yo, salute to Fritz though. Hold on. I'm gonna bring Fritz in there, guy. My bad. He asked to talk for a second.
Oh yeah.
Fritz in the Discord.
Yeah.
Fritz.
Yo, Fritz, what's good, man? You are live on the KOT show. You already know what's good, my man. I know I probably took you off guard. I didn't give you enough enough lead time to prepare. I just dragged you in. But you are live. Wait, is my volume up? Volume is up. Fritz, can you hear me?
Hey, what's up?
What's up?
Fritz.
Oh, hold up. Can you hear me?
Yep, you perfect.
Yeah.
I can hear you. You good?
I don't know if he can hear us.
Okay.
There you go. You
Can
can
you hear me okay? I just can't hear you.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just gonna talk.
Okay.
Yeah, I do like the DeJounte Murray idea. I think it's a better idea now than it was at the deadline. Like it's okay. Yeah, so it's a better idea this summer. We have the picks. This last year we would have kind of been giving them picks that were more valuable in the future. Now those picks aren't as valuable. Like, so we can really give up those picks. We pretty much were the team Atlanta wanted to trade with.
Yeah, they was
And
hyping
they
the price
just
on
were
us.
kind of flirting with everybody else, but they wanted our picks.
That's a fact.
And I think the Knicks give it to them because it's easy. 2 picks,
And Bojan.
give him bogey,
Mm-hmm.
and you should be all set. And he only makes like $25 million now. When he's at the end of his contract, he's like 39, but I mean 39 million. But like his salary works perfect. I think DeJounte Murray or Cam Johnson makes a lot of sense this summer.
Cam Johnson. Interesting. I feel like Tibbs would pull his hair out with Cam Johnson.
I feel like Cam Johnson need to take a trip to the Wiz. What's his heart like?
Damn. The bar. Yo, everybody with the bars. Yo, I need y'all to take a time to
totally different players, but they make sense. We kind of need players who are gonna make like a 20-ish million.
Nah.
We can't keep getting these max players on this team.
I agree. I just want to take time to appreciate Ebony for those bars. I don't know if you recognize double entendre. Don't even ask me how she did that on the spot. I need Cam used to go to the Wiz. I don't know if you got the heart like the Wiz, the movie. The Wizard. Well, okay, that's just me. Okay. The Wizards don't have heart in it. Come on, man. Y'all don't appreciate rap. Y'all ain't like the Kendrick Drake beef. I don't like it. Whatever.
I loved it. I can't stop. I can't stop. Sound wow, 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 wow. It's just stuck in my head. And are you my friend? Oh, it's just all time in my stuck in my head.
A minor. Giggity.
It's stuck. It's stuck. Yeah, put it on the beat. I mean, I was just stuck. It's stuck in my head all the time.
Oh man. All right. Man, I wasn't expecting him off the bench.
Well, I'll say this. I mean, Cam Johnson does
He saw scoring.
solve.
That's for sure.
He does solve, one issue, which is, he would provide scoring off the bench, so that's number one. He is a wing, which is number two. He can shoot the three. That's number three. Defensively,
Are you locked in?
He also plays for the Nets, and there's no way in hell that
Yeah, you're right.
We're gonna have to go through 3,
It's a
4,
pipe
5 team trade to get him.
It was like, we'll trade you. Give us Randall. We'll give you Cam Johnson. Like, that's the type of stuff.
Or they were like, I ain't trading him to the Knicks. I'm gonna trade him here. Y'all can get him from there.
Exactly. We gotta pull a Drew Holiday type move to the Celtics. Hopefully, got backhandled somewhere.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think of like some players. I'm gonna keep saying I don't know what OKC's contract life is like, but they got a lot of wings over there.
Oh, they do.
And just like Toronto had a lot of wings, and we was able to get 2 of theirs. OKC has a lot of long pause wings. They eventually got to get paid, or they got to pay other people. So I don't see everybody staying over there. And then on top of the fact that they do have a lot of draft picks, so they're probably trying to get somebody else to pair with SGA, maybe some.
They need a big man. That's the one team I'm worried about giving Hartenstein a bag. Is OKC.
Maybe, but iHeart don't really fit their criteria now unless he come back with a 3-point jump shot for real.
he don't want to be off the bench either. Chet's starting, and Chet can't guard forward, so they're not going to play both of them together in the front court. So if he goes there, he's going to be coming off the bench. Here he starts.
Yeah, I think I don't know about that. That happens that next year with the whole training camp. You know how Tibbs is with his bigs and that nature. But we'll see. I think one of the teams like a OKC or even the Spurs who are looking to make moves and do have wings. They do have a bunch of in that 6'6", 6'7", 6'8" kind of range that we could possibly entice them with some draft picks or maybe a piece like Bogey or Burks if they want it. Some veteran help.
I hear you. All right.
Are we all in agreement to extend Tom Thibodeau? I sure as hell am.
Yeah.
Ned Nick's Twitter right now is insufferable, bro. It started like in the middle of the fourth quarter. State and Big Fat J, all those guys, they're going off on Twitter, bro.
This is their season.
This is their time to shine.
This is their favorite.
They want OG gone. They want a brand new starting five. They certainly want Tom Thibodeau fired, man. I saw State say that. It's just like damn, man, that's such a narrative to carry on your back and have to do that every day. Come on, man.
That's because that's your narrative. You just said what it is. That's what they thought from the get-go.
Anything less than a championship, they're going to go there. So it doesn't matter what happens. If all we had to play was like Charlie Brown and Jacob Toppin and we lost, they would have been like, it's Tibbs' fault. He should be fired and let's trade everybody. There's no in between with them. There's no nuance. It's just feast or famine.
And this is narrative season. This is their go-to because you can't prove them wrong. There's not a game to be played.
Great point, Ebony. Great point.
I say it to them all the time. That's why I'm not in Twitter. I pick and choose. It got to be some news for me to come up there and come in these spaces and things of that nature about the Knicks. I'm locked into Liberty after that, but to be in the Knicks spaces during the offseason. I don't, because basically it's my opinion versus your opinion. And we don't find out whose opinion is right until they're able to play the game.
Yeah.
So you sound real good because it ain't no game playing. You could say Tom Thibodeau lost it for us. We lost. So we can't, you could say Tom Thibodeau not taking us into the championship because granted he didn't just yet. So everything you say, it's true right now. I'm cool. I'm cool with that.
I see T. Williams in the chat saying fire Tiz, man. It's a ridiculous take, and I hate to break it to you. And I think Jay Ellis was the one that told me this back when I was saying fire Tibbs. It ain't happening. He ain't going nowhere. He is going to be extended. That's Leon Rose's guy. He's doing a solid job. The players love playing for him. He's not going anywhere, man. He's going to be here for the next 3 years. Just get used to it.
Just put it into perspective. The Heat and the Knicks both lost like 3 starters in the season. The Knicks ended up second in the East and going to the second round. The Heat ended up being a play-in team. Just to put everything in perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then the one thing I love about people that say fire Thibs, you never see them come up with a coach that they would replace Thibs with. There's always fire Thibs, this, fire this because of this, fire this because of that. And it's like, okay, if you gotta fire Thibs, who would you replace Thibs with? What coach is available right now that you would replace Thibs with? Like, may you please tell me? And they never have an answer for it. Never have an answer for it.
That sounds like, that's why I stopped a long time ago saying get rid of Julius Randle, because I realized who else can we fill that does what he does? That's specific, the specific talent, like type of game he has fits us to a T. We need exactly everything he can bring. So then I'm like, I know we're not going to get greater value because they always down talk him, and people already think he's a 2-time All-Star, but he gets so much disrespect. Like they don't realize he's a 2-time All-Star type of vibes. So I just stopped on that train because I didn't have anybody else that I would plug in there. So let me work out with Julius Randle. And it's the same thing with Tibbs. Like except for Jay Wright, I can't call nobody else. I would say, hey, let them coach right now that's available.
I think once you admit to yourself that Tibbs and Randall aren't going anywhere, it allows you to have a more nuanced critique of both of them as well. And it's still fine and healthy to critique Thibodeau's decision-making and coaching and Julius Randle's decision-making and playing. It's warranted many a time, Randall more than Tibbs. But I think once you admit they're going to be here, you critique it and also appreciate all the good and all the wins that both those guys bring to this team. It's tremendous.
Yeah.
I don't want JT Redick. We don't mention that guy.
Yeah,
we call him simp.
No,
that's a simp.
Yeah,
it's step in the name of love.
Here we go with they played him too many minutes narrative when half the team got injured because of other players. But here we go again.
I
don't even want to talk about it anymore. We talked about it like 3 times today.
Yeah, facts. At this point, I'm just like, you know what? If that's what you want to believe, go ahead. You believe it. I'm not even going to argue it anymore or whatever the case may be. Like, that's what you want to believe. Believe it. I don't. At this point, I don't care anymore. It is what it is.
Yeah,
I agree. I just want everybody to take a deep breath and just look at the whole picture, like, because that's what people, when your narratives, you can only look at it through your way. When you have a specific agenda or hate towards somebody, you may miss the whole picture. We were missing how many people? Dante DiVincenzo wasn't even a starter to start this game. How many trades did we have to get through? And we made it further than we made it last year. Through all of that. You get what I'm saying? And now think about that what I just said. Now think about next year when you have Julius Randle come back. Yeah. You have Jalen Brunson come back. You have Mitchell Robinson come back. You have a healthy Josh Hart, who's angry Josh Hart. I see shooting Josh Hart next year. I don't know, but in the pit of my stomach, I feel shooting Josh Hart next year. That's what I feel.
Freaking
go ahead.
No, JJ Redick said he's going to train with him. Because allegedly, Josh Hart don't like to train. That's what he said. He don't like to practice. he a gameplay. He don't like to practice. He on his AI. But we're gonna get JJ Redick to chain him to the gym so he can shoot some shots. Damn it.
That part of practice, you better get it
You
together.
got it
Now I can
together.
understand running. That that was me. I did not like running. Practice, I gave you what bare like you know how you got to pass a test at 65. That's what I gave you. That's what I gave you. You know,
Yeah.
but when it came to like honing your skills, shooting, and just the fundamentals of the thing. Now that's repetition. You got to keep that on the regular. You got to keep being in the parks. You got to be in these gyms, just getting those shots up.
Yeah.
Like that's a must.
Oh,
Facts.
Jarris asked about
Also,
Dorian Finley-Smith. I actually liked him. Like I actually considered him to be like a
That's
backup.
yeah.
he give me Wiggins vibes. He got to be happy in like the perfect position to do well kind of vibes. Like his consistency to me is in question.
That's true.
That's
'Cause I
my
feel like he did
question.
really good to start this season and then kind of fell off. But it's weird. 'Cause, like I always question that type of thing when you're playing with for a shitty team, though. You know, like so it's like if you put somebody like that on an actual good team, will they produce for the whole year versus a team that's going nowhere? You know what I'm saying?
Then he came from the Mavs, right? Then he played with Luca and then he played with
came from the
Brunson
Mavs.
too, did he?
Mhm.
Yeah.
So it might
I-
might change if he actually around a winning culture. But I like it. I like his fit here as a backup.
I want to say shout out to our fan base again, and everybody that rocked out with us all season. But our fan base is screaming Nixon 8, and that's the type of time we on, and that's the type of personality we have, and I love it. Nixon 8, like that's it. Like
Facts.
I love us. I love us.
That's funny.
And whereas teams still crying about the first round, that won't be us.
Exactly. Yeah, not be
When-
us. We made the second round this year twice. All right. Let's make it to the finals next year. All right.
Exactly. Like you can't. You could be sad that the season's over and a lot of activities that you were doing going to be changed up. Your routine might change up a little bit. So it takes a little shock and disbelief to get that together. I understand that part. But other than that, we're not going to be going back with the Pacers fan back and forth. I don't see too many. I'm sure it's going to be a couple because some people salty and can't get over it. But
He's
the
missing half our
majority
team.
is just
Like, what are you gonna do?
Proud.
He's missing half
Yeah,
our
just
team.
proud. Yes.
Big difference having OG Anunoby out there versus Precious Achiuwa. Like freaking Brunson. Like to keep put in perspective, when Brunson was out, OG was busting their ass. OG was busting their ass when Brunson was on the bench and he had his foot thing going. So it is what it is. OG playing, Randall playing, OG and Randall playing. It's not happening. It's just not happening. It's a totally different ballgame. But next season is gonna be a different season.
Yeah, I definitely gain the some respect for some of the Pacers on the team. I still don't believe in Halliburton, so that's not him. But
I always people kill. Man, I want to pull up all the old tweets about people killing me about me being worried about TJ McConnell. I want to.
No, I was worried about him too. I agree with that. But mine is TJ. I just can't stand him, so I'm not even going to talk about him either. He Jamal Murray to me a little bit. But I just want to say, Nimhart gained my respect. He definitely did. Gave his all, didn't back down even when he got cooked. He didn't back down. Hit the big shot in Game 3. When we were going on our run, he made a tough little layup where he cut through the defense and stopped our momentum. Just being ready whenever he was open, he made sure he hit his shots. Just starring in his role. So I definitely gained a ton of respect for Nimhart.
Yeah.
But that was the only one I'm gonna give respect to them.
All right.
The rest of them.
Y'all want to get to? Y'all got bro picks?
Oh yeah, I got some.
All right, before we get to bro picks, though, shout out to Echelon. See another $2 in the chat. It says Chef Tibbs order on the ticket, 50 plus burgers and a trophy. All right, I agree with you. Your mouth to God's ears next season. The chip when the Knicks are healthy. All right, respect. All right, now it's time for that part of the show. Bro picks are usually worst plays of the game. Sometimes it's not this game. Sometimes it could be any game. And sometimes it's not even any game. It could be something stupid dumb, idiotic that you want to point out and say, this is stupid. This is dumb. This is idiotic. Why'd you say that? Bruh. So let's get to it. Who got some bruh picks?
I do have a couple.
I know you did. I was about to say you got started off with Ryan.
Yeah,
You know you got
yeah.
started off.
Yeah, I do got a couple. My first bruh pick goes to Paul Pierce because you see this dude. So first he comes out and says, okay, the Knicks ain't making it out of the first round. If the Knicks make it out of the first round, I'm gonna wear a Brunson jersey. Knicks make it out of the first round. He puts on a Brunson jersey. He's praising Brunson on Undisputed. He's praising Brunson on the podcast he has with KG, giving Brunson all his props and blah, blah, blah. And now all of a sudden, Knicks lose Game 7 to the Pacers, and the Knicks are eliminated from the playoffs. And this dude is going to come out, take off Brunson's jersey and stomp on it on the ground on some real, like...
It's content,
BS,
yo.
like,
that stuff is content, bro.
Yeah. So
that
I'm
stuff
like...
is content.
So Paul Pierce gets a bruh, and he's going to continue to get a bruh. Every single day we do this podcast, he's getting an automatic bruh because that dude is just... I don't even know what to say about dude. And my other bruh goes to all these quote-unquote Knicks content creators that's going to be running their narratives throughout the whole offseason about Dibs and other players on the team and this and that. I hope y'all enjoy your offseason because y'all are worse than Knicks for clicks. Because that's basically what y'all are doing. Y'all claim to be Knicks fans, but yeah, you're gonna be running these narratives that is the equivalent of Knicks for clicks. So
they might as well work for ESPN.
That's
like
what I'm
they
saying.
really just they pretty much ESPN feature hires.
Exactly. So I mean, exactly. So I mean, y'all should pretty much just group yourselves into that group of all these other journalists and media personalities who do Knicks for clicks. Y'all claim to be Knicks fans, but y'all the same people though.
They just copy pasted Stephen A's to me. That's exactly really what it is.
Oh my goodness. I was in a space and I'm not going to shout out nobody's name, but I was in a space and I had to look in my phone to see if Stephen A had joined the space. I literally had to look in my phone because this person sound just like almost bar for bar. Even the tone sound a lot like him. So yes, please let Screaming A don't mimic him. We don't want to hear him. We don't even want to hear him. You gonna mimic him? Come on.
Yo, Rusty with the ball said BSPN.
Yeah, I call it ESPN.
Oh my, I like BSPN.
Yeah, BSPN.
I like that.
Bullshit is sports. Yeah, I do too. All right.
Yeah, that's all my brothers though.
Yeah, I got some. Well, you know, one of them was gonna be Paul Pierce because he's a douche. So so he always earns it. So you know, that's definitely one. The other one is the whole. I'm gonna give the commissioner of the WNBA bruh pick until she rectifies this charter incidents because it only looks like one team is flying charter. So say what it is, Miss Kathy, please. Oh,
she
and
parlays for that team. She's like, yes, this team is winning most of the games this season. I'm gonna give them the
charter. It's kind of super disrespectful. And the fact that they're investigating the Aces because the city of Las Vegas gave the each player on the Aces an extra $100,000. It's like their own kind of nail deal.
Oh wow!
And of course, you know the WNBA can't have unfair advantages only if they're giving them. Nobody else can give the unfair advantage only if we're giving the unfair advantage. So yes, only one team is going around in the planes, the chartered planes, and yes, you can't get your own charter planes. You can't pay your own players extra because that makes the unfair advantage in free agency. But only we can screw you over, basically. So give Kathy the big old thank you. Yes, the APAP is definitely time to watch the Liberty. If y'all missing New York basketball, you want to watch a good team basketball on both ends, the Liberty is where it's at. But I also want to give another bro pick to the Liberty, the WNBA. community and the CC fans. Also, Jeff Teague, we're gonna group him in that too, for saying that the girls should just lay down and die so that they could grow this league. Just lay down and let Caitlin Clark. They want the WNBA to be scripted like WWE.
Oh wow!
They want to basically they telling these competitors
to let Caitlin Clark cook so they can make money. That's crazy.
To lay down for this
Wow.
girl, make it easy. Make it easy for her.
That's crazy.
They didn't get the part where they could say, "Damn, these women are talented." No. They should dumb themselves down.
Yeah, that's weird.
What sport did they do that at?
That's crazy.
That's wild. And
So,
also big. Also, I just want to say, big up the Liberty for smacking the Fever twice. You know, that's revenge for the Knicks right there. Good job, Liberty. Smack the Fever twice. Good job.
Yeah, and it was against their next hope, who they had folded and looking crazy. She had 9 points one game, and she ran into a Stewie screen, y'all. She fell like a wet doll. Like, a doll. It looked just like a wet doll. Like, the legs went up under you first on your knees, and then it looked like a doll. And everybody, again, people spinning that to be hate. Why do the WNBA players hate? He said, "What you want her to do? She was standing there for 5 years. If anything, that's her teammates' fault for not calling it out." You get what I'm saying? They're not watching the game. They're trying to spin it and make everybody else's fault. And I can't have it. It's cool to grow the game, but to grow the game, you got to have willing teachers and you have to have willing students. You can't come into a new space uninformed, because how good of an opinion can you really have? You don't have the whole picture. So to the new CC fans, it's not that we don't want to grow the game, but if you're coming into a new space, do not do it rudely. Do not disrespect the people that were there first. Like, these people are trash. Like, they're not. These women are ballers. That's all I have to have. I'm gonna give them bruh picks every chance I get.
I got a bruh pick. Bruh pick goes to the number one domestic violence dude on the internet right now.
You stole mine.
Oh, yeah.
I did. Yeah.
Sorry,
Diddy Combs, man. Sean,
the diddler.
P. Diddy gets the biggest bruh of the century. For that fake ass apology. Dude has been denying every single thing that he's been accused of ever since those charges have been brought up against him. He's denied, he's gaslit, and he did nothing but just kind of play the Uno reverse card and blame it on everybody else looking for a payday. All the while, this man was a woman beater the whole time, and probably way more than that. Probably. So, thoughts and prayers to Cassie for putting up to that. And I'm pretty sure there's a lot more people who's probably suffered from being associated with Diddy. Makes you think about Kim Porter, who used to be with Diddy. It makes you think about everybody who's associated with him. Like, our heart goes out to you guys, and biggest bruh to Diddy for that fake ass apology, because you got caught when you was calling them money hungry people looking for a check a month ago. So big bruh.
I got a super bruh. I got Captain of the Goof Troop vibes. I got Goofy Incorporated, whatever you want to call it, in the chat. Talk about we not. So since you wanted our attention, Mr. Casino, here it is. Bruh, you don't believe what you just wrote in this chat. I know you didn't. You just took a New York team that it took Jalen Brunson breaking his hand to win against. Like, we didn't have anybody. We would have spent circles around Stuart Little in the game.
Man,
you got Pascal Siakam, who was doing work. He's not moving the tank of Julius Randle. That's not happening. You got Miles Turner, who's not a big. That baby not a big. Mitchell Rob would have manhandled that man. He would have made him move. Are you serious? You better take your win and enjoy, because this is it. This is your championship. It ain't happening again, my man. You better just take your win and enjoy it. Stop being delusional. That's delusion.
Trolls gonna be trolls, man. You can't even take
Yeah, I know.
They don't even take them
Delusion or Hall
seriously.
of Fame. Nah. I'm good. I like to give people the attention they ask for. Delusion or Hall of Fame. That's what it is.
Yeah, you know what's funny about it too? Like, not once this season have the Pacers face a fully healthy Knicks team. Not once this season. So they have no idea.
Yeah,
what
the Pacers beat a broke down Bucks team and a broke down Knicks team.
Exactly.
Congratulations, y'all healthy. That's really what it is. Y'all got lucky. Y'all got healthy.
We'll see. We'll see the results of next year.
Exactly. The first game the Pacers won against the Knicks this season, that was right after the trade for OG. So the Knicks didn't have half their damn roster for that game in Indiana. The next two games after that, the Knicks had a bunch of injuries. The Knicks were playing the Pacers with a depleted roster. In the playoffs, the Knicks were not healthy again. No Mitch, no Randall, no Bogey. And the Knicks still was up 2-0. The series kind of shifted when OG got hurt. If OG was healthy, y'all would not have made it past 5 games. Y'all would not have made it past 5 games.
I just want to let you know that in the last game, not this game, the last game, my backup point guard outscored your starting supposedly Olympic point guard. Like, I'm not worried about my team. I'm not even mad about this loss. Y'all won. We injuries took us out. Injuries definitely one too many. We couldn't get past the hump. But we good. We good because we come back and those people get to play next year.
Yeah.
I don't know what else y'all what happens with you guys.
It doesn't even matter. When we have a full team, I want to see what energy he has. When we have an actual team.
I ain't worried about it. I know my guy.
I'm not even worried about it. I already know what it is.
The amount of offensive rebounds, this series got saved on a miracle 3 by one of your role players that I had gave props to, because that's the only one I would give props to. Like, I respect them hard. The rest of them, Pascal did what he had to do. I ain't got no issues with Pascal. He did what he had to do. But I don't believe in your team.
Yeah.
Y'all not like that. Y'all lost to Milwaukee with no Dame and no Giannis. That'll tell you all you need to know. Yeah. Y'all Fugazi. That is the definition. Your team is the definition of a fluke. Not unless they make moves. That's how I feel. I do not believe in the Pacers.
Yeah, well, we'll see how real they are when next series when they have to go against Boston. Let's see how real they are.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Any other picks?
Yeah, I got 2. First up, I'm going to comment on the Diddy situation. Not only is Diddy a massive POS and deserves to be in jail, but I think the legal system at large should be indicted.
Mm-hmm.
Having a 2-year law, what's it?
Statute of limitations.
Statute of limitations. Thank you, JLS. On physical assault is absurd. But 2 years is nothing. I think that should be a minimum of a 20-year stipulation, because it takes a long time for people to heal, not physically, but mentally and emotionally, from the abuse that they've been suffered. And the violence that was put on Cassidy at the hands of Diddy in that situation deserves to be prosecuted. So because our justice system is corrupt, and we can see this, I think Republicans and Democrats will finally agree on one of the few issues, that our legal system is completely in the toilet. And it's a mockery. It's a sham. The only kind of justice sometimes that works now is street justice. So I hope that P. Diddy and P. Diddy both get the kind of street justice they deserve for the crimes they've committed, however that may come to fruition. And luckily, P. Diddy's entire history and legacy in the hip-hop game now has been completely demolished and is replaced by him being someone who willingly and openly beats on women, abuses women, and sex traffics women, with all the evidence that has come forward from multiple accusers. I think it's enough for him to earn the defamation that he's gotten in the media and social media. Second, my bleached blonde, bad-built butch body, Marjorie Taylor Greene, one of my favorite political bums to roast. It's not just her. and just like the disgusting example of a representative that she is, it was the response that I saw. People saying, when did our Congress or when did politics in general become so ghetto? I saw that multiple times on Twitter, the terminology ghetto to describe Representative Crockett, and not Marjorie, just Crockett. And Crockett's hilarious takedown of Marjorie Taylor Greene's very poorly built body, as someone who also a poorly built body. I can say that because game. With that being said, it's hilarious that people would look at 2024 and a verbal spat between congressional members to be an indictment of our political system and how it's been degraded, when one of our founding fathers was shot dead by the first Treasury of the United States in Alexander Hamilton Burr duel in the 1800s. Like, we started out murdering each other for differencing of opinions in formal duels. And it's only gotten better from there. Like, we're no longer going out in the street and having Marjorie Taylor Greene and Representative Crockett shoot each other in a standing duel. Like, that's how we started. So we've only gotten better. America has always been ghetto. It's always been trying to be 2 steps ahead. I mean, 1 step ahead while taking 2 steps back. And the degradation of our country, our legal system, our representatives, our political structure, our two-party system, our didactic way of thinking that constantly trivializes and separates us as people by only giving us 2 options to vote of and to think of. It's been rotten to the core from the beginning. And to me, to finally say, oh, that's an example of our political system being ghetto is absurd when we start out with murder and treason and insidious acts, like literally murdering one of our founding fathers in a duel. So it can only go up from here, luckily. But I thought Marjorie Taylor Greene got the verbal beatdown that she well deserved for kind of picking on people repeatedly, and started it with the eyebrow attack on Crockett. I thought was inappropriate. So, you did the smoke like me. I did the smoke plenty, and I get it. Can you handle it? It's a question. And I like to think that I handled it better than Marjorie Taylor Greene, who, once again, bleach blonde, bad built, butch body, is one of the perfect wordplay bars in modern political history.
Yeah. Yes, it is. It definitely is. She deserved it. You can't play victim. You know how I say. Don't play victim. You can't do that. You can't act like a jerk and then play victim.
How deep do I want to go today off that statement? I don't feel like going that deep today. I'm pulling back from the play victim. You threw me the layup. I'm letting that one go.
Yeah,
I'm letting that one go. I'm letting that play victim guard go. All right.
Can I say something real quick before we leave about Diddy though? I forgot to give my
sure.
With the Diddy thing, I had a space. Shout out to my big sister and Daru from Twitter. They have a space every Saturday called A Conversation. They have uncomfortable conversations. And one of the topics was this Diddy thing when Cassie had made the lawsuit. And a lot of the questions were, why didn't she come out before? Why didn't she press charges and all this other stuff? And that's the first thing I said. I said fear. If you can do this amount of abuse and keep it under the wraps, that means you have a huge, powerful backing. Somebody higher than you has your back. If you feel comfortable enough, and then to see this, it kind of justify everything we were saying, because if you have the kind of confidence in the hotel room in your towel to beat somebody down, then what are you doing in the privacy of your own homes?
Word.
And the fact that you could just pay the hotel for these tapes to go away, what kind of safety does that give the public? Because to me, it's saying if the person has more money than me, they can do whatever to me, and you'll make whatever the evidence go away.
Mm-hmm.
So this other people have to be looked at in regards to this. Other people have to start being investigated, because this could lead down to a dark rabbit hole. We have a big thing in trafficking and all this other stuff. So all those times you hear people saying that the hotel may have been on it. And people are like, why would they do that? This and this and that. Stuff like this makes me put 2 and 2 together. Like, anything is possible. You understand? That could be possible. You could just grease somebody's pocket and the back door open.
That's a fact.
That is crazy. We got to get better. Like, the system has to be reset. Like, like you did in a video game.
Yeah, people with money are scary. I'm not gonna hold you.
Kanye calling P Diddy a Fed, and that's one of the reasons why he did away with what he gets away with. Starting to look very realistic. I know Kanye gets murdered in the press for some of the things that he says, rightly so, in some instances. But him calling Diddy a Fed, I mean, what were they doing raiding his house? You tell me they raided his house, his computers and stereo system, didn't find anything worth charging him for? Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he looks like he's in the same resort that Russell Simmons is in now. I don't know if y'all see in the background.
Yeah.
It looks real. It looks
Yeah.
real.
As soon as I saw the charges, I was like, "Oh, he's going right to Dolly." I already knew that.
Yeah.
He looks like he's in the same resort.
That's a fact. That's a fact. All right. Hold on. We got somebody on the line, though. We got somebody on the line. I gotta tell him.
Let's go.
Here.
Chet.
Yo. Tell him. You live on the KOT show. Test your mic real quick, sir. Tell him. Are you there? Tell him. Uh-oh. Tell him I went to sleep. Wait. Tell him I brought you in. I think he might have stepped away. Tell him he probably went to the bathroom or something. I don't know. He was like, I was waiting all this time.
I didn't know somebody. I'm sorry. But I also I have U pick.
Okay, go ahead.
My U pick is the Knicks fans. Shout out to us for traveling, supporting, buying merch, holding spaces, having podcasts.
Testing or no? Testing?
Oh, wait. Hello? You there? Wait.
He was testing for a second.
I know, right?
Hello?
I guess so.
What happened?
I don't know. Maybe they can't hear us.
Funky today?
Testing. Technical difficulties.
We hear you.
I can't hear you, KOT show.
We hear me.
Testing.
We hear you.
I don't know if I'm supposed to be talking right now. Testing.
We hear you. Go ahead. I don't know if you can hear us, but we can hear you. Can you hear us? Can you hear us? It's everything. Why can't nobody hear us today?
KOT show, I can't hear you. I can't hear you
Hello?
at all. I can hear myself though. Should I just go?
Yes, go.
I feel like you want me to go here, but I don't know for sure. Give me some confirmation in the chat.
Go.
Tell me something. Give me a sign. Okay. I think he said yeah.
Yes.
Oh, he said go. All right, I see you, Lee. Hey, what's going on tonight, KOT show? Shout out to my man Jay Ellis. Shout out to my man's Truth Telling Lee. Shout out to my man's with the stats and the facts, Ryan G. And shout out to my girl Ebony. Shout out to everybody enjoying the KOT show. So boom, check it out. First things first, look at our leader. Look at how humble he is. Look at the humility he shows. Look at how he was raised, low draft pick. You feel me? Always overlooked. Like, oh, he not nice, but he really is. And he always has to prove the critics wrong. He's even getting the same thing in the NBA. So you see, when you have a leader like that, it rubs off on you. You feel me? You become mentally tough. You become fearless. You become Captain Clutch like Jalen Brunson. But you see, the team that just beat us, look at their leader. Their leader's a front runner. Their leader sees things going good, gets hyped, gets excited, but then he quiet when things ain't going good. And then look at this. I don't want to curse. I don't curse on other people's show. But look at this jack booty by the name of Casino. Look at how he acting. Don't he remind you of somebody? Oh, wait. He reminds you of the same leader for his favorite team. So Casino ain't no different from Clint Capella. Ain't no different from any of these other people who like to run their mouth when things going good. He ain't gonna be running his mouth right now because Jason Tatum about to sweep him. He ain't gonna be running his mouth right now because Jaylen Brown about to sweep him. He's talking about, oh, your team is whack. Da-da-da-da-da. You got pushed for 7 games there, and I have no players. God had to break Brunson's hand for you to win. You're not even going to win tonight. And I lost OG again. So that's a bruh pick. That track booty by the name of Casino. That's number 1. Get him all the way out the paint. And you know he's still in the screen. He just don't want to type because he's afraid. Like Ebony said, he getting the attention he wanted. But he don't like it now. That's number 1. Carve him up and spit him out. I got people on the street looking at me like I'm crazy right now. I wish y'all had a camera to see. It's all good. Hola. Shout out to Leon Rose. I believe in Leon Rose. And that's why I'm not worried. I'm not stressed at all. I'm going to be excited to see what GOAT Leon has to do this offseason as far as changing up our team, keeping things the same, whatever the case may be. We all know the dilemma. Big Mitch making about $15 million a season. iHeart outplayed his current contract. iHeart showed he's starter quality. iHeart might get more money than Big Mitch. We don't know yet. What's that going to do for our cap situation? Brock Aller, you on the clock, boy. Capologist, get the captain. You feel me? Bring back Alec Burks, yes or no? I would. But of course, the price got to be right. You never know. He might feel like, yo, I showed. I got value. Let me get 8 mil, 9 mil. And that might be out of our price range. We don't know yet. OG, love him. When we got him in January, we became elite. But let's all keep it a bean. OG's not durable. OG got to take less money. He might not want to. So Knicks fans, be ready. Because we might have to sign and trade Hartenstein. We might have to sign and trade OG and Anunoby. We don't know. But what I do know is the man making them decisions, Leon, oh, yes, I trust Leon. It don't matter what he says. Leon could trade Jalen Brunson right now, and I'll say he knows why. He got a reason for it, and it's going to work out. So I trust in Leon. In fact, his contract's coming up, and I believe he's going to stick around. Some people want Coach Tibbs gone. I was a anti-Coach Tibbs guy because I like the 25 and under guys. But let's keep it real. Only a fool like Casino would think it's time to move on from Coach Tom Thibodeau. Ain't no moving on from Coach Tom Thibodeau. He's here to stay, baby. He showed me, just like Tom Coughlin, the Giants coach, showed me years ago, in his 4th season, I believe. He turned things around. He used to not play music for practice. He used to say, hey, if practice is at 4 o'clock, you got to be here at 3:45 or 3:50 or else you're late and you're going to get fined. Entering that 4th season, he switched things up. He switched out how he coached. And that led into happier players. The Giants ended up winning what I call the most special Super Bowl in Super Bowl history because they went against a team that was undefeated. With that being said, I see Coach Tom Thibodeau has made a lot of changes that I like. For example, feeling out, oh, this player is playing good. Keep him in the game. Something as small and insignificant as that is like, wow, usually Coach Tibbs has a set time that he's going to do substitution, regardless of the in-game situation. Now he's like, oh, for example, game 1 against the Sixers, Big Mitchell Robinson is doing a decent job on Embiid. Hartenstein is not. Keep Big Mitch in. That's an improvement from our coach. Miles Deuce McBride cooking in game 1 versus the Sixers. Keeps him in the game to close out while DiVincenzo's struggling. That's an improvement. Old Tom Thibodeau would bring Elfrid Payton back in the game knowing he's going to make us lose. So for anybody who's saying fire Coach Tibbs, you're just not watching basketball. You're only paying attention to the narratives of, oh, he gets players injured because of the Derrick Rose situation. He does not get players injured. This year, our bodies broke down, unfortunately, due to wild stuff like, boom, Jaime Jaquez for the Miami Heat on a rebound, locking up his arm with Randall and yanking the rotator cuff. That's not Coach Tibbs overplaying. You feel me? Big Mitchell Robinson coming back from an ankle surgery. Oh, he going for a rebound. And Embiid is salty because he's getting guarded up good by Big Mitch and Iheart, even though he's the better player. He going to yank on the foot. It's not the surgery up foot. It's the other foot, but still, it leads to complications to where all he can do is give us a little bit in game 1 in the second round, and then Big Mitch is gone. So stuff like that, that's not Coach Tibbs' fault. Anybody who wants Coach Tibbs going, I'm sorry, my brother. I don't know what to tell you, but not only is he not going to go because he's doing a good job, like y'all said, if he's friends with Leon Rose, Leon's not firing his mans. Get over it. And the whole, trade Randall, that's stupid because they're not going to move Randall either. So you got to just deal with it. We're keeping Randall. We're keeping Coach Tibbs. It's all good and gravy, baby. I'm excited to see what our GOAT, Leon Rose, is going to do this summer. I think he's going to do something that's going to make us all happy. Even if it's a small move, we already know. Discount Ben Leon, sometimes that's the best version of it. So we get to see true value. You feel me? Signing DiVincenzo to what he signed him to before the season started, that's crazy. When you see the production that we got from Devo, second most threes in the season behind Curry, that's crazy. So at the end of the day, the only thing that I would tweak, possibly the only thing I would tweak is maybe, I know this sounds crazy, maybe sacrificing a few regular season wins for the sake of having our players healthy for the playoffs. Because others will call me a Knicks fan. I truly believe the Knicks were the best team this year. in the league. Very first game, you acquire OG. You go against who? The Minnesota Timberwolves. People putting them on a pedestal right now, right? Because they were up 2-0 versus Denver Nuggets. Oh, they might win game 7. Oh, they might win everything. My Knicks beat them. People putting the Celtics on a pedestal. Oh, they're this talent, they're that talent. In April, I think it was April 11th, my Knicks just crushed them in Massachusetts. Blew them out. It was 20-something at halftime. Oh, Jokic, 3-time MVP, defending champ. It didn't look like that when he came to the Garden. Besides the 80 points the Timberwolves just held Jokic to, the second lowest points Jokic got held to this season, I think it was 84. That was against the Knicks. That was against the Knicks when it was a 40-point beatdown. Okay, so I'm sorry, people. This was the best team this year. The Nuggets can't rock with us. The Timberwolves, the Celtics. We did the same thing to Embiid. That's before Embiid got injured. That's how I knew we were gonna beat the Sixers. The Miami Heat probably got salty that we were punishing them. You feel me? Because of the playoff rivalry. That's probably why Jaime Jaquez did what he did with Randall Shola. Because we were cooking them that game. I know some people gonna say, oh yeah, well, like for example, Draymond Green was recently like, oh, you think Julius Randle's going to be a difference when he comes back to help them win a championship? Yes, you fool. Are you serious? In that same Minnesota Timberwolves game, Julius Randle had 39 points. Brunson had less than 20 because Brunson had more than 10 assists. When you give Brunson weapons, you get a different play style instead of the ball hog version that we have right now. So at the end of the day, first things first, let's see what Goat Leon does. I think he's going to do something good. After that, let's hope for health. We get healthy next year, we keep the same core. Unless Donovan Mitchell goes to the Miami Heat or to the Lakers or something crazy, I don't see any transactions that's going to put us in jeopardy next season to not win. I think this was it, ladies and gentlemen. I think we finally seen our final form of what the Knicks are going to look like pre-championship. And next year's the year, baby. So all you fools who's out here running your mouths, Coach Tibbs is whack, Brunson's not a 1A, like Becky Hammond, like Candace Parker. Oh, I don't like Knicks fans just cause like Gilbert Arenas. All y'all, today's y'all day. Y'all ain't even win the war. Y'all ain't win the battle, nothing. Because next year, when we do win it all, I'm going to have written down everything y'all said, and I'm pulling up. The first person I'm pulling up on is Casino. You know he's going to be hiding. But that's the first person I'm looking for. KOT show, all 4 of y'all did magnificent all season long.
Appreciate it.
This show is like Knicks therapy for me. It's mad therapeutic because every time after losses, probably like I think the Orlando Magic lost. I was pissed. I was ready to fight people. When I come here, it helps me feel better.
Appreciate
y'all,
that.
I can relate to y'all what y'all thinking when it comes to the game. Y'all not no fanboys. Y'all got your own mind. Y'all don't copy other people. You feel me?
That's a
so
fact.
all 4 of y'all did a great job. Y'all 4 keep up the good work. I'm gonna continue to tune in. And at the end of the day, next year when we win, just don't say I ain't tell you so. You feel me?
I hear you,
God
bro.
bless, man. F Puffy, he whack.
Whack. Shout out to my guy Teller, man. That's my dude.
Yes, sir. And yo, do you see the chat? Like, yo, these Pacers fans started coming like cockroaches now. They started coming like damn cockroaches, just filing to the damn chat.
All five Pacers fans in there. That's fine.
You know, I got some boric acid for them.
Yo, shout out to my guy Teller, man. And yo, one thing I do appreciate about the show, and he said it, is everybody here has their own mind. We don't copy takes. We don't take takes from TV. We don't take takes from Twitter. We all stand on our own. And even when we disagree with each other, we be going at each other. We all have our own mind, and then we'll change our mind if we debate and then we're like, oh, you know what? Damn, they had a point. Like we'll do that, but we'll have a debate and then be like, you know what? Yeah, you know what? Yeah, you know what, Lee? Yeah, you was right. Yeah, you know what, Ebony? Nah, you was right.
A word?
No, you know what, right? Nah, you was right. I know Lee loves hearing that.
I just want to say shout out to the Knick community again. Because they ain't got no Pacer podcast to go to.
I know.
They had to come to ours.
I have Wi-Fi in Indiana.
No Wi-Fi in, exactly.
One hotspot for the whole city.
That's a fact. It's only tractors and tumbleweed out there.
Nothing but cornfields and empty ass roads.
Exactly.
Do they call hamburgers patty melts there?
I don't know. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to y'all. All the Mormons in Indiana. Shout out to you guys. I'm glad. I'm surprised you have TV to watch the game. I didn't even know it's legal for y'all to have electricity out there. The hell?
For real.
He said so we could cry. Ain't no tears over here.
Oh,
We proud of our
man.
team. They left it all on the court.
Yeah.
Y'all was crying. Y'all was trying to make excuses
Man.
for Mathurin. We missing Mathurin.
Y'all beat our bench. Congratulations. Y'all beat
For
our
real.
bench in 7 games. Congratulations.
Y'all winning, but we missing Mathurin. Okay, we missing Julius Randle.
Oh,
We missing
man.
Mitchell Robinson. Like, come on. The math ain't
Yeah.
mathing, man. We ain't even
Yeah.
mad about
For
it.
real.
Enjoy your win and focused on the next team.
Yo.
That's it.
Exactly. Congratulations beating an injured Milwaukee team. Congratulations for being an injured Knicks team. This Boston team, they're only missing KP. They're pretty healthy. So let's see how y'all go. Let's see how y'all do against an actual healthy team. A fairly healthy team. Let's see what happens in the next round.
We'll see.
Excuses.
Yeah.
Excuses, baby, are facts, Dakota. But it's whatever. Whatever. You want us to be mad so bad, and it's not, and it's kind of killing you a little bit. I see that.
Yeah, man. But Mormons got to get their thrills however they can. You can't blame them. You know. All right. So that's the show, guys. Thank you guys for watching. Guys, you want to know where they can find you?
Oh yeah. I guess I could.
Yeah, you go ahead, Ebony. Where can you find you, Ebony?
You can find me. Well, post games probably gonna be some more off season stuff. You'll see us on KOT. But other than that, you can catch me on Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, and Mad Nick Fan. And because it's Liberty season now, you can catch me every post game on Twitter at Ballin' with the Queens after the Liberty games. And you can catch me on Liberty Latte coming out. I believe that's on Tuesday soon. So, you can see me then.
All right. Ryan G. No, wait. Lee, let them know where they can find you, sir.
Find me on Twitter at _ Lee Escobedo, LEEESCOBEDO. But I want to use this time too. Ebony, Rookie of the Year, your first season.
Yeah.
You did a hell of a job, sister. I think you raised the level of dialogue for all of us. I think no one more than me. You really challenged me to lean into my weaknesses and make them strengths and learn more about the game and learn more about play calling. Who would have known at the end of a season I would be debating you on Horns play during the playoffs? I think your personality, not just your intellect, but your personality too, I think really complemented and solidified the core of us four. You brought a fresh perspective, and you're a great human being, and I love sharing the debate stage with you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It has been a great season, and I told y'all when I joined, it felt like I knew you guys for a long time. It's been fun, and y'all just accepted me and all my silliness because it comes out randomly. I can't control it, and I just appreciate that I can be myself here. And that we can challenge each other, and it's never a yes man mentality, but it's never disrespectful either.
That's a fact.
Well said.
Solidified the squad for real. All right. And Ryan G, let them know where they can find you, sir.
You can find me on Twitter, Ryan GKOT. You can also find me on Instagram at Sir G is chilling.
Sir G is chilling.
That's SIRG is CHILLIN. And yo, I only got one thing to say, yo. Like, yo, Knicks fans, salute to a great season. Unfortunately, it was cut short by injuries. And, let's wrap up this show so these dudes in Indiana can go back to cutting their cornfields and harvesting their crop so they can, celebrate.
Is it curfew
money.
time?
Exactly.
Is it curfew time, Ryan?
It's curfew time.
Yeah, it's curfew
Because we know everything Indianapolis closes at 8:30 or 9 o'clock
Yeah.
anyway. So I mean,
They're gonna turn on the street lights, man. Get home.
They got lights?
Downtown.
Holy shit. I thought like there's like
Yo.
one guy like pedaling a bicycle in the power of the city. So that's what my bad. I do got lights.
AP said, "What's next for KOT in the offseason?" That's their question.
That is a great question.
We shall figure it out.
We shall figure it out. I want to have another show with a guest. it's like a lot of stuff happening behind the scenes. That stuff has to kind of clear out to know like exactly where to go. But once that gets cleared up, then we'll see. All right. Cool.
Somebody,
All right. You can
somebody
follow
said-
us. You can add the KOT Show on Twitter, the Knick of Time Show on Instagram, and the Knick of Time Show on Facebook as well. Hold on. John Baines is a 49 super chat. I see you. He says, nah, for real. Y'all have done amazing this year. Salute to the squad. Appreciate you, John. Appreciate you. All right. Yeah, so you can find us at the KOT Show on Twitter, Knick of Time Show on Instagram and Facebook as well. SoundCloud, iTunes, and Google Play as well. All right. That is our show. I'll definitely be having like a wrap-up show. So stay tuned for that. I'm pretty sure this season, I feel like this season, I'm pretty sure the trade season is coming soon. So we're gonna have talks about who to target for trades. So I'm pretty sure we're probably gonna do a show about that. So stay tuned for that. And it's funny. I always feel
Can I
weird.
say something quick? Sorry.
I always feel weird about doing draft shows because we haven't drafted in the last few years. So I've always been feeling weird about like how tightly to follow the draft after not drafting for a couple of years. So I'll see how that goes. But definitely gonna do a trade show for sure.
Mm. I think we active in this draft. I don't know why. I feel like this draft might be a little bit mature in just a pick and plug type of draft of not trying to find the next superstar, but your next help. Just
Agreed.
help.
I hope we take both first round picks personally. It's probably not going to happen, but I hope we do.
I'd be surprised with
I
the
see.
cap if we took 2 first rounds. I'd be shocked with the way that like how much cap room we have to get to the first and second tier. Oh, that's probably a good show. I should talk to Fritz about.
And I see somebody else talking about another Pacer fan still in there because they ain't got nothing else to do. Talking about the rats. I'd rather deal with the rats than die of boredom, which you might have to do in where you're from. If you had the rats, that'd probably be your entertainment. Watching them scurry across the street.
Probably. Yeah, pet rat to them. Nothing to do out there.
Yo. Got me crying, bro.
Oh man.
Messing with me. His cousins is probably his parents.
Oh shit.
Oh damn. Yikes. Yo.
Yo.
Damn.
Oh, I knew I loved Ebony.
Damn.
Just roast as much as me. Let's go.
Damn. Not cousin mommy. That's crazy.
Oh, damn.
Oh man.
No.
Cousin mommy is crazy.
Oh, cousin mommy. Oh, the KOT shirt coming soon. Cousin mommy.
Oh man.
Let's not playing with us. Go find a Pacers pod to go run to.
Nah, this is what happens. See, the
Bro.
squad, the chemistry with the squad is too great. You just be throwing people lives, catching them. That's a bit.
Cousin mommy. Sad.
Oh, man.
Wow.
I was trying to end the show. Oh god. Okay.
Another super chat.
Another super chat. I'm glad. Okay.
JT.
That's okay. Look, the more Pacer jokes we got, the more super chats we get. So it might as well keep going. JT Reddick sends a 999 super chat. He says, "Your last game of the season, and nothing to be ashamed of. Shout out to KOT, Rookie of the Year, Ebony. Salute Jay, Ryan, Elise. Salute KOT fam as always. Yo, salute to my guy JT Reddick, aka my next trader. I appreciate you, JT Reddick. Be in the gym, boy. He's a wrestler. Shout out to JT Reddick, yo. All right, man. All right, that's the show. Yo, I want to win that. I want to win that Alan Hahn contest, dog.
What's the Alan Hahn contest? I missed it.
Where shoot, I want to get everybody on there to see if we can get it. Yeah, I appreciate you taking a good roasting J2 series.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Alan Hahn has a contest going out for content creators, Knick content creators, where he would be a guest host on the show. and people will vote on the guest host, and if they vote, he would go on. You can do stuff on his show, and then he would come on our show. So it'd be dope if we can all get on it. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
Facts.
Definitely.
I know you talked about that like a couple of months ago, and I think I mentioned it in the group chat. And I tried to like get his attention. It's like, yo, I want to do it, but I don't even know how he decides who gets picked or not. But I think that's gonna happen this summer, so that'd be dope if that comes to fruition. So we'll see how that goes. All right. All right, cool. Thank you guys for watching. That's the show. I'll see you guys next time. And as always,
shout out the World Wide West. Everywhere we go, we leave a worldwide mess.
It's a mess out here in these Knicks YouTube streets. Mess, especially on Twitter. Oh my God, Twitter's crazy. That's the show. We out of here.
Peace.
New York, big city of dreams. New York, big city of dreams.